gentlemen, the winner of this contest.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guy's Tony Khan.
Because we had just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing nuts. You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
Because we had just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You gotta run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we had just secured the bag.
But like, you gotta promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be all my 5 favorite movies. Time God. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guy's Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
Good. Good match. Good match.
I just feel like
We've seen this time and time again out of Jericho and Guevara.
That's awesome. That was great. Ah! Yes! Sick!
He's going to take it. And Claudio Castagnoli.
Is that heavy, Tony?
No. I gave you extra time. 6 to about 6 to break for right now. Go. They're really flying through. Hey! That was great. That was perfect. Are you okay? That was great. Way to get him up at the end. You got him back. That was great. Pick him up. That was a great finish. Oh, yeah. Going into the card rundown. We'll feel out the ending, and then we'll go into the card rundown bumpers.
With Ty Mello. Dr. Knight in her sights, and now Sky Blue goes down.
my catcher.
The team match right there. JD Hater coming up right now. The Elite versus Death Triangle. No! Damn it!
Come Tuesday, I love that idea. You might have saw it coming tonight, but come Tuesday,
I'm going to come on you like nobody's ever come on you before.
Brutus, this is incredible. What a package. I'm going to eat his ass.
I'm coming. I'm just going to come as hard as I can.
I am sick and tired of playing around with kids.
I mean, for God's sakes, I came.
I don't come. What exactly is a female dog? It's called a bitch, is the term.
I'm Ricky Morton. I'm from the old school. And when it comes to getting down, they say I'm the best in town.
Biscuits and gravy, dick.
balls, pussy, ass.
Booker, I want to have sex with your wife.
It's sexual, baby.
Perverted sex. Bestiality sex. It was so bad that my balls were black. And my dick. Yo, homeboy, welcome to the hood, brother.
Was sent in by someone who has submitted songs in the past. Rich Famous, he says that this is a twist on our classic intro. Let's hear this.
Who's drinking vodka, hosting a podcast? Who's more than likely high on cocaine? Whose legacy died in AEW? Everyone knows it's Chris. Who played a concert in a pandemic, risking the safety of his own fans, trying hard to start his own leper colony? Everyone knows it's Chris. Who latches on to everything trendy, hoping that he can feed off its buzz? Who tries and fails at anything comedy? Everyone knows it's Chris. Who's desperate to prove he's a singer, egg on his face and put in his place? If any of this sounds appealing to you, all you need to is do this. Join Chris Jericho's cruise. He'll be high on drugs and booze, and he'll buddy up to you if you can get him high. Or raise his profile if you can get him high. Or raise his profile.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Now.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show Saturday night. I am your host, the infallible Phil Marks. And welcome, PWT Universe. We did it. It is a Saturday night. It is the weekend. I hope you're all feeling all right. And thank you all for joining me this evening. We have a little bit of stuff to get into. There hasn't been too much craziness going on. I mean, there has been some craziness in the world of pro wrestling. I guess in general, it's always crazy. But again, this is like if you're a fan of WWE and NXT, you're going to be excited as of late. There is some injury talk in AEW. There's Tony Khan completely embarrassing himself, which is like can't miss shit. So there has been some stuff, right? It's just not like anything pressing or serious where we're like, oh my God, but like Tony just humiliated himself online. We have NXT call-ups who are blowing up the scene on SmackDown. And again, just a brilliant way as Dave and Brian just fucking coping throughout the end of the year over NXT call-ups. Boom. There, a bunch of people are being called up start of the year. Bri had a little post. Maybe we'll get into that if we have time. I hope you're all enjoying your new year so far. We're only a few days in, so happy new year to you all. Again, exciting times. TNA is about to pop off on AMC in like what, a week here, 2 weeks. Wrestle Kingdom 20 is going to be previewed. I already previewed it pretty much, but we're just going to quickly like run through it, and I'll just talk about the card and sort of the last minute. You know, I've been covering the Yota Tsuji versus Takeshita stuff as far as like Tsuji's feelings towards AEW, and I threw out a theory that maybe he's the next Gabe Kidd and that's why he's doing this, but apparently not. Apparently he's shooting from the hip there, bud. And so thank you all for being here. Welcome to PWT again. Make sure you guys hit like, make sure you guys hit subscribe, make sure you guys check out patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times, and that's where these live shows go. If you're a live show fan and you don't like when shit gets clipped out or whatever because YouTube snags it or whatever, go over there and all the episodes are archived there. as well as the podcast. And I'm going to start archiving Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week over there too. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, let's get into oh yeah, and you can become a member of the show for only 99 cents. I do a weekly member show. This show is this upcoming Monday is Stranger Things crossover with Raw on Netflix. So I think we should watch that because I'm a huge Stranger Things mark. So I'll tell you guys if it's hitting or not, as far as what your boy Phil thinks about the Stranger Things Raw crossover and what they're planning on doing with that. Apparently, like, the set is they're gonna all be in the Upside Down or some shit. Like, they're gonna make the set look like a dark version of Raw or something. I don't know. The Upside Down or the level above or below the Upside Down. I don't know. I don't want to spoil stuff if you guys haven't seen it yet, but yeah, watch Stranger Things. Let me know what you think. Okay, yes, as people file in, there's already over 100 of you watching across X and YouTube. So youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. I think we're almost at like 7,400, 7,500 subs around there. So thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, tell a friend, I guess, and patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. Okay, those are my Phil the Shield plugs for now. And I am just sort of bookmarking a couple last little things. Just a couple last little thises and that's before we dive into Phil Marks bookmarks. And chat, let me know how you're all doing. Oh yeah, and become a member for 99 cents or gift a membership. Okay, super chats are welcome as well. And yeah, get access to bonus member Monday shows. We are going to watch I think Stranger Things Raw this Monday is what we're going to do. Last week I think we did throwbacks, or this week I guess rather we did like throwbacks and botches and talked about Stranger Things with my pal JJ, which was pretty funny. So yeah, anyways, let's get into things here. Let's start off by I was going to check in with chat and say what's up to everybody. Pre-show begins at 1:15. Yeah, and so Wrestle Kingdom 20's on, guys. It starts at like midnight or like 1 a.m. depending where you are, and then it'll go until like 4 or 5 a.m. or whatever. I'm probably going to watch it. I think more than likely that's what'll be on. Typically with Wrestle Kingdom, I like to watch it after, and then I can sort of skim through some shit, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot in between. Again, with New Japan, I know a lot of the sickos are like, oh, the ads on the mat, but then they claim to be New Japan and CMLL sickos like Marks, and they're fucking clearly not. And then New Japan as well. Like some people, sometimes it's just like teams come out, you know, like 5 guys will just come out at once and just head right to the ring. And that's more the norm, I'd say. But yeah, there's some guys that's Wrestle Kingdom. So you're going to see the pageantry. You're going to see the big entrances. And they drew a fucking house for this one. So I'm definitely interested in what's to come. And apparently a bunch of guys' Nuge contracts are up. They are up after today, or tonight rather, whichever. Tomorrow. Time cop. It's all 3 at once. So yeah, typically like I'll wait till the next day so I can fast forward through shit, but I don't know. I see myself being up. I've been up editing a lot pretty late, so it'll at least the first half of it will be on for me. So speaking of all of that, let's get into, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some good old-fashioned miscellaneous news. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Not all bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Phil Marks Out is my other channel where I talk about Stranger Things and movies and stuff like that. So consider checking that out. I've skipped over this a few times. This is just like a CTV News, which is a very Canadian thing. Okay. And they did this video about a social worker during the day professional wrestler at night. It's
Yeah,
a
so this is
3-minute clip, so let's watch this. I skipped over it a few times, but we're finally getting to it here.
Well, yeah, so this is where I work.
During the day, Namita helps vulnerable people find home. But at night, Katrina Creed emerges and enters the ring.
There's something really weird about like being able to do shows on weekends, having these like high adrenaline events, and having honestly the time of your life, and then having to kind of like switch gears and trudge to your like day job.
Creed admits that going from her day job to rings here and overseas is intense.
So do y'all know who that is? Katrina Creed? Is that her name?
And just having that dual reality is honestly weird. It's bizarre.
Her job and her passion require very different energies.
Wrestling is very intense as an industry, both physically and mentally, but then also like my regular job, oftentimes we're dealing with people who are in really vulnerable situations.
And all you guys asking who are the top guys in Nuge, we're going to get there in just a moment.
Yes. Well, from adrenaline and aggression.
But a bunch of people are like leaving there allegedly, which I've been covering here, but we're going to kind of do a recap of all that going into Wrestle Kingdom tonight.
To nurturing and compassion, Creed has one of the more extreme day-to-night transitions. She's not alone.
We've had a lot of interesting day jobs over the year.
Andrew Stott, or the Professor Shane Hawk, is co-director of the International Wrestling Syndicate. He is also a senior content creator for an international company during the day.
Sometimes people will say, how can you be cheered or booed by, hundreds of fans and then go to work on Monday? And it's because it's really not that big of a deal. It's work, right? It's the same thing that we do everywhere else.
It's just going back and forth between two different worlds that require so much of you. And for a while, and even now,
It's
kind
a
of
work, pal.
all I do.
I was hoping I'd get something out of this, guys. Come on now.
Creed's co-director, Akira Bohena, says it's important to have an outlet.
Especially when you're dealing with a lot of pressures and we're dealing with people that are kind of affected by a lot of systemic issues going on. So it's important to have, especially if you're a frontline worker, it's important to have something to help you kind of alleviate the stress.
Because you don't.
Because if you don't, you can lose your mind.
That's partly why a wide printing tech jumps off the rope.
Okay, who's she wrestling there? Who is that? That wasn't Cora Jade, was it?
A garbage truck driver gets slammed to the mat, and a social worker suplexes her opponent.
It is the greatest emotional release in my life. I'm so fortunate and grateful to have found something.
I don't know. I like her gear. This is boring, though. Shout out the whatever wrestling syndicate. Woo! So speaking of the indies and whatnot, Priscilla Kelly and Shotzi Blackheart brought the New Year's in, or the New Year in, rather, 2026. They brought it in style, and Priscilla was about to set Shotzi on fire after their match. And this comes after a spot I'm going to play for you guys after.
Please no.
And it's that.
Or I think maybe I put it in botches and spots, but they like do a spot where they trade blows, except for they trade light tube smashes over each other. And this was before. So Priscilla Kelly, Gigi Dolan was going to light Shotzi on fire. This at GCW. And then Zachary Wentz runs in and is like, "What are you doing, babe?"
Zachary Wentz.
You two are fucking sisters!
And I think they like burnt up a fucking Chemical X shirt or like threw it on Shotzi's bloody body or something.
Oh, Zachary Wentz to the face of Shotzi Blackheart. And there's chaos everywhere.
Wrestling's cooked because you can just hit women. Like in no other, if you do that in a show, a guy who like slaps his wife, you're like Dr. Doom, you're like the evilest supervillain on earth. But in GCW, yeah, here's the spot. Good. I put it in and they did to bring the countdown. I thought this was awesome, even though it is just like, I don't know, chat can let me know how they feel about it, but they just trade light tubes back and forth as they bring in the new year.
Now we're going to see it. Oh! And they are swinging for the fences.
Oh!
Double fisting the tube.
And then the comment, double fisting the tube. I thank you. I'm over here now. And then shit, and then it's funny because in GCW, you know, Priscilla's just like, you fucking bitch. Like, just zero chill. Yeah, and they did this to like bring in the new year. I thought that was the one. I'm sure I have where the new year finally goes off. I must have bookmarked it. No? Wow. Okay, I thought there was a longer clip, but yeah, they bring the new year in, they do the countdown. Everyone's like happy new year, and then like Gigi and everyone's just in the ring like in Shotzi, and they're just not out of character, but they're all just like hanging out. Like none of that shit just happened. It's so funny, man. So speaking of indie wrestling news here, EC3 announced that his time with the National Wrestling Alliance has come to an end, and he says, I'm grateful for the opportunities I was given and the people I shared the work with. The top 1% was never a gimmick. It is a standard. Future actions will reflect that. Becoming is self-overcoming, man. The Overman years NWA World's Champion mattered to me. Over 80 defenses. So he just pretty much puts himself over. And yeah, he was awesome. I guess, you know, I don't know how much he elevated NWA, but pardon me. Yeah, NWA and OVW as well. He was like doing appearances for them, which like after that Netflix show was interesting to see. But is this because Cardona's there? Like, what's going on with NWA and WWE and all this shit? We're going to get into it all throughout the show, because Cardona's doing gangster moves. Like, people are saying, oh, he's officially with WWE, and he officially is. But like, I don't know, man. I think I know for a fact he's going to have to go drop some titles elsewhere unless they just vacate him. You know, we'll get into that in a bit. And I didn't put it in miscellaneous news because it pertains to Matt Cardona. But speaking of WWE miscellaneous and JCW, Matt Cardona became JCW champion the night before his fucking SmackDown return. So Vince Russo booked that, bro. Vince Russo declares, bro, I will never, ever, bro. It's like I would never, ever return to the World Wrestling Federation, bro. Let me tell you, not even for millions of dollars, bro. Here's the thing, man. Vince Russo took a job with JCW because he was trying to get back in wrestling, and he's mad at WWE because he thought Triple H was going to give him a job and shit. You know, because he scratched a lot of backs in his time, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels were guys that he got behind. And you even heard it on Jim Cornette's pod. Vince Russo wanted to book a Triple H HBK faction called the Elite. That was one of his fucking ideas. And now look, you have a whole company named All Elite Wrestling after a group called the Elite. That's how bad their booking is. No. But yeah, Vince Russo wanted to do that. And like, he was behind Triple H, you know, and I think he thought he was going to get a job. And that's, I heard Billy Boy talking about that, and he knows Vince Russo. So I'm inclined to believe that, you know, because it just seems too obvious, especially when he's talking all this shit and then he's in JCW writing for it instead. I'm not knocking even Vince or JCW. Like, he's a worker. He's going to try and work himself into a job. But the problem is Vince Russo works himself out of jobs more than he does into good ones or like long-term ones. Like, he's been everywhere at their peak, but for like two minutes, or I guess not. In WCW, he came in after the peak. But it's hard to gauge because it's not like WCW it peaked and then it just like fell off and then was gone like immediately, you know? It didn't have like years of drawn out, like maybe a couple, but it didn't have years of drawn out like fucking, oh my God, when will this end? Put me out of my misery, right? It wasn't like at that level fully. I mean, you could possibly salvage it, like, you know, Eric Bischoff was going to, that was his mission. And also, like you had people there, you know, like I think Nash was there. Who was wrestling in 2000? I think like Steiner, Booker T was still there, Sting. So it's not like you didn't have guys who could fucking wrestle and like who weren't stars at one point or whatever the fuck. It just kind of boom, it went away. Kind of just fell off and went away. ECW, for what it was, the level it was at, it didn't really seem like it ever fell off. It just went away because, and again, I was very young at the time, but just my memory of it and the way it's talked about, it just sort of like went away because Heyman was so good at hiding. Well, not hiding it like the boys knew, but he was good at hiding the fucking financial problems and whatnot. So either way, moving along. In other indie wrestling news, Kiera Hogan and Diamante announce engagement to ring in 2026. Okay. So are they engaged, or is this like a wrestling fed engagement to ring? Big news. Happy New Year's, walking into 2026 engaged. Okay. So yeah, they're getting married. Good for them. And I don't think either of them are with AEW anymore, if I'm not mistaken. So that goes in indie news. In other random miscellaneous news, ex-WWE star Justin Credible, PJ, shows off incredible transformation after 2 months sober. This is awesome and good for him. And yeah, I'll definitely, you know, JJ knows him, so I should fucking shoot him a DM and see what's up. Speaking of seeing what's up, man, and NWA and other indie type news, Colby Carino, his contract status, he is a free agent following the expiry of his NWA deal. EC3 came up as well. So it's like, damn, dude, there's a lot of craziness just to start 26. It's like TNA, a bunch of deals are up and people are leaving or moving around. They're signing people. NWA deals are up, clearly. New Japan, a bunch of deals are up. Since we're hearing rumors of other people in WWE as well, but typically like their shit will go past Mania. Like their year just works different, you know? Their year is fucking, their calendar year is Mania to Mania, you know? April. So Colby Carino, though, apparently WWE and AEW both inquired about this guy. According to bodyslam.net, I don't know, bodyslam.net is just saying like any and everything, though. But I also wouldn't put it past them that they know someone who works for NWA or whatever the fuck, you know, or someone told them that. Like, it's not like that would be so crazy. You know, I'd be like, no, they're just fucking lying. So speaking of WWE legends, this goes into miscellaneous because it kind of doesn't really fit anywhere. Here is John Cena when he hopped back in the studio for the first time in decades with Travis Barker. And this is recently, but John Cena is retired. Okay. And a lot of the legend stuff goes into miscellaneous news. So I put it in here. John Cena hopped back in the booth for the first time in a long ass time. Now, he didn't do anything musically really that we know about. Like obviously him and R-Truth made songs we've never heard and shit. But he did link up like a decade ago with Wiz Khalifa for the 2K15 soundtrack. If you guys remember that, 2K15. They did a couple songs were on the 2K soundtrack. And also I believe Wiz and John Cena have both confirmed that they have like another song that no one's ever heard just shelved. That's the thing. John Cena's got songs with people that are just shelved that he will never fucking put out to the world for whatever reason, maybe posthumously or something. But he's got collabs with like big name artists that we'll never hear. But we did hear one or two of those Wiz Khalifa tracks, if you guys remember that. And then prior to that, he didn't make an album since The Time Is Now, or whatever the fucking album was called, My Time Is Now, or The Time Is Now. So let's take a listen.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I strive to. I got one question. What drives you?
Was this the theme for like What Drives You? Isn't that like a John Cena show where he like drives and picks people up or something like that? Isn't that, am I wrong? I totally forget, but is this the theme for this? This sounds like some really old boom bap shit, though. Very dated type of old school hip hop, but whatever. That's what Cena likes.
Question, what drives you?
That was sick, John. I feel like what drives you is the chorus. If you have anything you want to say in between what drives you, we could like maybe loop what drives you. And then if you feel like doing any ad-libs in between it, that could be really cool.
Any ideas? Question, what drives you? Your fortitude and motivation, what drives you? The source of extra inspiration, what drives you? In any given situation, what drives you? So seize the moment, kick the day in.
That's cool. I love that. Legendary, John. That's so good. That's awesome.
Thanks,
I love
man.
that too.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave you to the real music.
Oh, that was amazing.
Thank you so much,
I'm going to
man.
send you a bounce of this and I'm going to like
I don't know what that means.
make all the production awesome.
You were generous with
He knows what the bounce means. Fuck out of here, John. It's just that he doesn't want to like fake the funk, but he loves making music. That's the problem, you know? That's his issue, that he's like, oh, I don't know what bouncing it out means. Yeah, you fucking do.
your most precious asset. And that is what I'm truly grateful for. I'll leave you guys to it.
Yeah, that was great. We should put some grimy kind of like boom bap drums on it.
Yeah,
It's dope that he just lays down his shit and gets out of the way, though. But yeah, I don't know, man. Shout out Travis Barker, legendary Blink-182 drummer, among many other things, you know. So speaking of drumming and having a grand old gay old time, here is Ric Flair. Happy New Year. This is how he brought the new year in. Ric Flair tripping, dude. Now, here's the one thing. This is what's dope about Ric Flair, though, and just him in general, is that this song like comes on, let's say, and you're like, that's me, but like you didn't have to make that song about yourself, you know? It's not like you're a guy in a club and you're like, oh, they're playing me right now. It's like about him. That's how legend he is. But you know they put it on because he was there. I don't know, though. It seems like some people are like, damn, what is this old coot doing? He's still living it up, man. I don't know if I could be that old and like be living it up that hard. You know? So, ladies and germs, UFC and other miscellaneous news is on Paramount, and I've seen a couple different approaches to this. So, Dovey MMA, Dovey Simu MMA, Simu, whatever the fuck. He says you have to pay to watch individual UFC fights on Paramount. What the fuck? So $2.99 to buy an individual fight. Now, I'm not sure if that's across the board or what it is, but Ariel Helwani had this to say. I've briefly perused the new UFC hub on the Paramount Plus app, and it's very easy to navigate. Quick, extensive, feels like more will be added soon too, with some cool features. Example, each champion has its own hub. Legends 2, great start. Check it out if you haven't yet. And man, it would be dope if WWE was like this. Although on Netflix, like I can type in like Edge, and then Edge's like the pay-per-views he's featured in will come up. Just like if you type in an actor's name. But yeah, this is awesome. Like champion, current champion, legend hub. And I don't know if you have to pay for individual. That's a crazy hustle, $2.99. Or you just buy the whole fucking event, or I don't know how it works. But an update as of today, the entire UFC library is available on Paramount. Now, they also own WEC and WFA and Pride FC and shit like that. It would be crazy if all that got uploaded too, eventually. But again, that's sort of like It's sort of like ECW, like how do you upload WEC events and then have it clutter up your fucking, you know, you just want to market like UFC. But yeah, I love this thus far, and I haven't hopped on and used it, but the next fight card isn't until the end of the month here. It's like a 6-week dry spell of no UFC fights, so been keeping busy with other shit. The main thing, one of the main things we're here to talk about is Wrestle Kingdom. So I believe the card is finalized. It is, because it goes down in just a few short hours here. And I'm going to pull up the Wrestle Kingdom 20 card. I can't remember how many tickets they sold for this. How many? And we're going to talk about this. How many tickets did Wrestle Kingdom 20 sell so far? Over 31,000 as of November 3rd. And then there was like a huge spike because of when they announced Okada. Let me go and see if like WrestleTix has something. WrestleTix. Yeah, we'll click on WrestleTix. Let's see what they got going on over here now. Let's see. Revolution, SmackDown. No fucking Wrestle Kingdom? Where are you at, WrestleTix? How is he not covering Wrestle Kingdom? Wrestle Kingdom ticket sales. I could just ask Grok, but I'm not Tone. I'm not Tone McCon. Yeah, I don't know, man. So there's a surge in ticket sales. How many? So November 4th is the last update. We got 31,000. So all seats are sold out that they were set up for in the Tokyo Dome. Let's see. So, yeah, does anyone in chat, is anyone asking Grok here? I can do it. Here we go. How many tickets has Wrestle King? I know you guys like the dead air. Wrestle Kingdom 20 sold. It's just weird that we hear there's this huge increase, but we don't. So they're sold out as of November 14th of the setup. Yeah, all Grok has is November's last update. So with no exact final ticket sales number publicly released beyond the over 50,000 expectation. So 40 to 55,000? Did Tony just was part of the deal? Why don't we know that the actual ticket sales was part of the deal that Tony buys 20,000 fucking tickets for this event? Sends Okada? Like, how does no one have an update since November? Oh, it's sold out, so it's like 40,000 to 55,000. It's like, well, that's a huge fucking gap. Like, that's a huge difference in numbers there. So what I don't know, man. Is it 31,000 or is it 50,000? Like, that's a huge difference. Is them choosing Okada instead of Shinsuke, did Tone go in and buy
the best guys, Tony Khan?
I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist here, but like, what the fuck is that about? Why don't we know? Why does no one know? It's sold out, so we'll just stop counting and giving exact numbers. What the fuck? So anyways, here's the times. In the UK, Wrestle Kingdom's on at 6:30 a.m. in Japan, 3:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m. in Australia, New Zealand. Yeah, and I don't know, it's like 12 a.m. over here. And so you see the card there. Let's go through this. So the opening match, these are on the pre-show. So Shoma Kato and Tatsuya Matsumoto take on Katsuya Murashima and Masatora Yasuda. So that should be a good, I'm assuming, Young Lions match. And then in the second prelim match, we have El Phantasmo with Jado versus Chris Brooks for the New Japan World Television Championship. And I think every match except for 2 is for... Oh, no, there's a few without titles on the line. And again, they didn't overstuff this card. Like, there is 11 matches total, 2 on the pre-show. But this is like their WrestleMania type event, you know? So, anyways, it starts off with the Rambo for the never open weight 6-man tag team championship. So I guess there's a 6-man tag title on the line, but it's a battle royal. It's like a Royal Rumble, the Rambo. So Toru Yanu's in there and Spiritek, which is Master Wato and Yo versus Tiger Mask. Like, which version? Togi Makabe, Ryusuke Taguchi versus Bolton Oleg and Bishamon, which is Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. So again, Hiroki Goto, E Honda, named one of the PWI top wrestlers. He's just in this battle royal. Okay. I just don't know if he's like super over in Nuge or what. Team 150, which is Ishii, Taichi, and Satoshi Kojima versus House of Torture, Ren Narita, Sanada, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus TMDK, the Mighty Don't Kneel. But it's the combo of Zack Sabre Jr., Ryohei Oiwa. I always feel like I'm botching his name. And Hartley Jackson. And then Kaizei Takechi and Rough Storm, which is Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura, which you remember from TNA, versus Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors, Oscar, and Yuto Weiss. Now, Clark Connors' contract is up. What? Oscar and Yuto Weiss allegedly have been offered deals from WWE. What? Do those guys come in and what happens? Now, I'm not saying it could be like maybe those guys go do some shit in Noah and in NXT and stuff like that. I don't know where you'd book them, but all I'm saying is this. Cody Rhodes, and maybe these aren't the guys for this in particular, but if it was sort of a callback to Bullet Club, I wouldn't be shocked. Or if it's like a full circle Bullet Club type thing where like, who knows? And I'm not saying it's going to be Clark Connors and the Knockout Brothers, but what I am saying is like, Cody Rhodes, all the people are gunning for Rhodes right now, as you guys saw on SmackDown, which we'll talk about in a bit. Everyone's gunning for Rhodes. So he is going to turn fucking heel. And even Orton said, yeah, I'm coming for the WWE title. I think it's going to be Orton versus Rhodes at WrestleMania. I think they've been teasing that for like a long ass time now. By the time we get to Mania, it'll be like a year long. And now we see Rhodes is all alone. He's all alone. He has no fucking friends. And not that he doesn't have friends, but everybody's gunning for that title this year. And, or at least this season, right? Like this headed into the playoff season of pro wrestling, of WWE Royal Rumble WrestleMania season. And so I think Rhodes is going to heel turn and he's going to need some guys, man. He's going to need some heaters of his own, you know? And I'm not saying it's going to be Connors and the Knockout Brothers, but it could be. And they could all be too sweet in each other. They don't even have to do that either. Like Judgment Day. Judgment Day is basically Bullet Club Purple, but they don't need to overly lean into it, right? But at the same time, like, it is what it is. Finn Balor's your leader. It's Bullet Club Purple, dog. You know? So, again, who knows? Maybe WWE offered them contracts because they're trying to help beef up Noah some more as well. Like, we know the Good Brothers showed up there. Even though the Good Brothers were kind of iffy towards WWE when The Rock came back in and shit, we know that Triple H likes those guys, and you know, they felt like they've been fucked around. Maybe they feel differently, but who knows? Like, you know, they haven't just shown up in AEW. They've worked everywhere else. The Good Brothers have, you know, and then all of a sudden they're wrestling in Noah, and it's like, okay, so what's up with all that? Is there some sort of, I know the Bullet Club thing's kind of played out, but Rhodes is going to need some guys. Now, I would say go with like Ricky Saints and people like that for sure. But if you want to introduce a tag team like the Knockout Brothers and have it, like, here's the thing, man. Other than JC Mateo, I guess they have done it recently. Like Talatonga, JC Mateo, Jacob Fatu, they were kind of just introduced on the main roster. Like, here's some fucking smoking guns right here who are, these are some killers that we got right here. But that was all sort of bloodline. I guess the Machine Guns as well were brought in. It's like, these guys are the shit. But you don't see it too often. So maybe you try and you stick them with Rhodes or something. Maybe that's not even the move. Maybe that's dumb. But Clark Connors, though, who knows if WWE would even be interested in this guy. I think he was in AEW for a bit, but it is interesting that all of their, like, that's all the Bullet Club War Dogs, and then Gabe Kidd just dipped out, or is like dipping. I'm assuming he's in AEW now, or he's about to be as well. So it's crazy that all their fucking deals came up. But yeah, I think the Bullet Club act as well, it's like time to drop that, boys. Like, you'll do better shit if you go to the Fed or even AEW. Maybe not, you won't do better shit in AEW. Tone will just be like, you're Bullet Club pink now. Like Bullet Club Gold. At least they kind of moved away from that. Bang, bang, gang, whatever. Either way. So the winner takes all match for the women's IWGP and women's strong championship. Saya Kamatani versus Suri. And it's title for title. Winner takes all. So that's pretty fucking cool. Speaking of Bullet Club War Dogs, David Finlay and Drilla Maloney, who their deals are up too, allegedly. That's what the dirt sheets are saying. So, like, every Bullet Club fucking War Dog is going. Now, I'm sure Tony takes some of them. I'm sure WWE's got their eyes on some people. I'm sure they got their eyes on Finlay. But yeah, Gabe Kidd's doing his thing. It's a 10-man tag match. They're teaming up with unaffiliated Shingo Takagi and Hiromu Takahashi with Gato. I thought Takahashi dipped out, but no, that was just Naito. So, I mean, that's cool. Takagi and Takahashi teaming up with Gato in their corner. The United Empire, Andrade El Idolo, Callum Newman, Great-O-Khan, Hanare, and to be announced, with Jacob Austin Young, who I'm assuming is a young lion. And yeah, I'm curious who joins up with United Empire. The rumors are swirling that it could be like an AEW guy or whatever, which wouldn't shock me, but who fucking knows? And apparently, and not saying Ospreay's going to wrestle, but he's supposed to be there with Kenny Omega as well in some capacity to like come out to the ring for Tanahashi's speech or whatever. And then in a 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, El Desperado versus Kosei Fujita versus Taiji Ishimori versus Sho. And then for the never open weight title, Evil with Dick Togo and Don Fale, which is Bad Luck Fale, takes on Aaron Wolf for the title. Now, he's that like Olympic judoka who he signed to New Japan. And I don't know, I guess people like in the 2020 Olympic Games, he took gold. In 2017, he's the world champ. He's the Asian champ in 2021. At the Olympic Games in Tokyo, he took gold, silver in mixed team, gold as an individual at 100 kilograms. In Paris, he took silver, gold, bronze in Budapest and Tokyo. 2020, he was a gold medalist at the Asian game, right? Like, this guy's got gold medals on gold medals on gold medals in the Olympics as a judoka, and he's like a real wrestling. He wanted to do it like the right way, the fucking Bushido Japanese way. And you got to love that. Because this guy, realistically, I mean, he probably could have trained MMA. I'm sure WWE was looking at him, right? But instead, he chose to go with Nuge, which is awesome. And he's only 29 years old. So 29 years old. My mother, God rest her soul. I just want to fly. I think that's how that song goes. Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. Konosuke Takeshita. So, and this is a winner takes all match for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. And I'm going to show you guys what Takeshita was up to just a night before his big match where he defends the Nuge title. And he has Rocky Romero Azuka in his corner, and he's taking on Yota Tsuji, who's the global heavyweight title holder, and the winner takes all. And hopefully they just fuse the belts and bring back the old fucking belt and get rid of this fucking global title. Right? It's like, I think I explained this when we broke this down before. I think it might have been on a member show. I don't remember, but the global title is like the continental title, you know, in fucking AEW. That's the equivalent. It's just like a belt that's like, okay, so the global title is different than the world title. How? It's just fucking stupid. And I'm pulling for Tsuji just because he's holding it down. He's holding it down for New Japan, man. And I think washing the stink off of them of AEW is the move. Not saying you can't like pay homage to, not saying even like Okada's a bad move. Like that's the time you bring in an AEW guy, I guess, right? Is like a Legends moment like this. I'm not going to knock it. It's Tanahashi's final match. And yeah, Tanahashi versus Okada will be the main event. And again, Brian Alvarez was like, we need to see Tanahashi win this. And Dave's like, they're not going to do that. Just spoiling it. Well, the reason it's a spoiler is because if I were to say they're not going to do that, I don't actually know. But Dave is like actually talking to Tone. And I think it's super fishy that we don't have the official ticket sales on this thing. Oh, it's sold out. Yep. Don't look no further. 2 months later, no one's looking into this shit. Literally 2 months to the date. We don't have an update since November 4th of what the actual ticket sales are. Just sell out 40 to 55K after they were at 31. So did Tone just buy 10K tickets and send Okada over there so that they didn't go get Shinsuke? Is that how this worked or what? Because I really, really don't understand how that happens, other than Okada and Tanahashi are fucking draws and good on them. So I'll give them that, but I would love to know what the official attendance is. It's weird we don't know. I think that's super incredibly fishy. And so yeah, that is the breakdown. Let's hear what Dave and Bry, speaking of Dave and Bry, Dave and Why Try Bry. Let's put a little flutes in the chat because this is a little daddy magic taste of Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. I don't know how dumb it is. He could actually be based here for all I know. Let's take a listen.
This is the biggest show of this century in Japan.
Which is the biggest show of this century in Japan. Is that true? Here, let's see. Let's ask Grok. Let's ask Google. Is Wrestle Kingdom 20 the biggest show of the century for NJPW? Yeah, that's how they're promoting it. So literally when you type that into Google on New Japan's Facebook, it says the biggest event in Japanese wrestling this century. And then Dave is just repeating it. And yeah, people are saying Tanahashi is like a once in this century talent. Yeah, I guess maybe if you don't want to take anything away from Tanahashi, but again, Dave just parroting the literal marketing for this shit, and that's funny. That's so funny. And Tanahashi, yeah, like for those of you who aren't Nuge fans, I assure you this is like Cena retiring. It's the equivalent. It's 1-to-1 the exact same thing. And I love that Bry exposed Dave on the last Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week. Brian exposed Dave by saying like, oh, you know, Tanahashi should win this. And he kept the same energy he did about Cena. And then Dave completely the opposite. No, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what's after the match and da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's so fucking funny. I swear Bry did that on purpose to Dave. But it's like a 1-to-1. Like Tanahashi said, I'm retiring on this date, and then wrestled for the last year while being like, you're only going to see me in a suit after this. And, you know, it's like the most perfect 1-to-1 comparison you could make is him and John Cena.
It's really a tribute to Tanahashi. The one thing that you can say that the way that the tickets went and everything like that for the show is it's real. Like if there was any doubt that Tanahashi was one of the all-time greats of this business, there's none now, because you talk about
whoever doubted it. Most people wouldn't know. They wouldn't know to say that. So in Japan, they'd say that of all time of all of wrestling, not off this one draw, but he drew a bunch of, like, when Nuge was hot, Tanahashi's that dude, I don't know, Dave. Dave just he tries to do this thing where it's like, fucking, there's no denying any. It's like, well, who was denying it? A, and B, I think you could still deny it though, because is Tanahashi a household name? Like, here's the thing: Stone Cold is known. If you said Stone Cold Steve Austin in Japan, they'd know who the fuck he was. Just like in America, if you said Tanahashi to someone in America, they would not know who the fuck he is. And so it's like, you could argue Tanahashi is not up there at all with those. If you go to Japan and say John Cena or fucking Hulk Hogan, they know who you're talking about. Tanahashi in America, though, and in America, they would know who Hulk Hogan, right? You guys get what I'm saying. Just for God's sakes, don't go to Taiwan and bring up John Cena.
Retirements and stuff. I mean, Ric Flair retirement drew more people, but that was out of WrestleMania.
All-time Japan, without question. I'm not trying to shit on Tanahashi-san, but
this is a Tokyo Dome. But still, Tokyo Dome hasn't drawn like this before. WrestleMania drew like it did when Flair went out every year, or when Shawn did that retirement thing or whatever. Whoever. It's like there's been, like Tanahashi's, for just like increase of audience. I think that even when Inoki retired, they were packing the Tokyo Domes regularly when Inoki retired. It was bigger and it was higher prices.
Now, Antonio Inoki is a name that you could say in America, and I bet it won't be everyone. It won't be as many as who know Hulk Hogan. People know Inoki, though. He fought Ali. Inoki transcended as well. I think that guy is the closest thing you'll get to, like, if you say Antonio Inoki to even like martial arts fans and shit, they have heard of him, at the very least. They know who the fuck he is from that. And boxing fans for surely know who he is. Even if you didn't grow up on Ali shit and Mike Tyson and stuff like that, you can look back and see the overlap there.
But with Tanahashi, it's like you're talking about a company that's not drawing all that well.
Everyone knows Ali had that freak show fight with Inoki,
And then you put his retirement thing and you draw the way they do. And also, the fact that whatever number they say, 45,000, 50,000, whatever that number is, it could, they sold out a long time ago. It's very obvious they could have done 70, 75. We don't know what the actual drawing power of this show
why is that obvious?
Is because it sold out so far in advance. I mean, as soon as
then, okay, so can it only fit 55,000 people with the setup, or could they have reduced the setup and cram more people in there?
As soon as they'd release tickets, they'd be gone immediately.
Yeah, so I don't know if Dave is legit in his analysis here. I think he's putting it over a little too much, but I also don't want to like shit on Nuge right now. It's their big night. It's their WrestleMania night or day, morning, whatever the fuck. But here's the thing, man. Even like from my little research I did on the air, everywhere it says they sold about 31,000, and then around November 4th, it just went to clean sellout after they announced Okada. Dave was saying that was when they announced Okada or whatever the fuck. Okada versus Tanahashi. So, or maybe they just announced the Tanahashi match. Either way, it was a slow climb, and then, well, no, it was fast. I mean, 2 months in advance. Yeah, good for them, man. They fucking crushed it. This is why Tsuji's pissed off at Takeshita. He's like, dude, this is where the big boys play here in Japan, dude. Yeah, so everyone, round of applause for Nuge, and check that show out. We have some more on that in a little bit. So Yeah. Moving along here. Let's get into. Yeah, dude, this is fucked, man. Wikipedia. Hold on. No one has it. WrestleTix. Ticket sales. What's today? Jan 3, 2020. 2026, pardon me. Yeah, Grok doesn't know. Google doesn't know. Wikipedia doesn't have. All anyone's saying, even Reddit, it appears to have completely sold out. Like, even the marks on Reddit are like, well, it's sold out entirely. Not even WrestleTix has an update. This is cooked. This is cooked. I'm throwing up fucking conspiracy flags on that one. What's going on? Where did that happen? How did that happen? Anyways, let's move on to something else here. We will move on here to AEW news because it's sort of, we're talking about it already. It directly connects and whatnot. So everybody in chat now, if someone can find the official, they'll announce it on the show. 613805 has been a member for 12 months. Thank you so much for your membership, guys. You can gift a membership. You can become a member for only 99 cents. I do weekly bonus shows. You can also join Patreon, patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes. And there's a ton of content on there, a bunch of stuff. So make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, I appreciate you all. And I acknowledge me. Over 200 watching. A Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 has been a member for 17 goddamn months. That's amazing. Hit like, guys. Hit like, hit subscribe. I think we're almost at like 7,400, 7,500 subs on the one channel. So hit subscribe. Shout you guys out. 37 likes. Yeah, for shame. There's well over 200 watching across X and YouTube. Make sure you guys, youtube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Thank you guys. Okay, so what else is chat saying? New Japan announced via press release and social media on December that it was the 50K full sellout. So it's 50K then. December 12th, you said. Is that what you said? Let me look this up. And I'm so curious. December 12th. Wrestle Kingdom 50,000 sellout. I'm Googling keywords here. It just says like the dome can hold up to 50K and they said they sold it out. So it's about all. Oh, wait. With over. Okay. So this is according to Sports Illustrated. Okay. So this is Alba. This is AI Illustrated here. No, actually, Lyric Swinton, whoever that is, wrote this article. New Japan announced that the Tokyo Dome is officially sold out for Wrestle Kingdom 20 with over 50K tickets distributed. Shout out SI, the only fucking publication that has it. What's the exact quote though, motherfucker? I'll take their word. I'll take Lyric's word for it. Yeah, this is on December 12th that this was written. So shout out SI. I guess they came through, guys. With over 50K tickets distributed. Okay, there you go. Shout out Wrestle Kingdom, man. There you go. Okay. Distributed does not mean sold. Thank you so much. And you're absolutely right about that. That's what I'm saying, though. So does that mean Tony just grabbed like 15K tickets and they were around 40K or he just, because we know Tony will pad like 10K plus tickets. We know he'll pad 10K for a big ass show or around 10K. We know he'll do that. So it's weird that Okada and Tanahashi's announced the drama with Shinsuke's going down. All of a sudden it's Okada. And then everyone's coping, and we have New Japan fans like, dude, Okada's not his greatest opponent. It would have made more sense to do Nakamura, etc., or even just someone else. And then all of a sudden, there's just a boost, and they have 50K tickets. Listen, I would never pull some shit like this, and I don't even give a fuck. Carney your numbers. I hope Tony gave them all to people who actually show up. But that is goddamn suspicious to me just because of Tone's track record. That's all. I'm not trying to be disingenuous here. It's just the truth, man. When Tone gets involved in this shit, and then you have fucking Takeshita as their champ, and is it a deal like, okay, Takeshita can drop the belt, but Okada's got to be the guy, and I'll fucking grab 15K tickets while I'm at it. Like, I could totally see him doing some fucking deals like that, dude. He'll do them with his own company, so he'll haggle with wrestlers like that. So distributed doesn't mean sold, but let's just shout them out. Just like the 93,000 WWE had when Hogan slammed that stinky giant, dude. When I pressed him above that stinky giant above my head, Jack. Whatever, I don't care. Carney's gonna carney, but at the same time, I get the skeptical hippo eyes, you know? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So, ladies and germs, Ichi Nissan da, because it is time for AEW news.
The best guy's Tony Khan.
So on New Year's, Kenny Omega challenged MJF for the AEW world title, essentially. He's like, I'm coming for it. And let's just take a listen, I guess.
I'm not collecting belts.
I'm not collecting belts.
I'm only collecting one. And whether I get a shot next week.
And it's like, Kenny, are you like show up in t-shirts and sweats guy? And people are like, why doesn't he look more professional? Or are you like flashy suit chandelier guy? God damn it.
Or whether I've got to scrape and claw my way to the front of the line.
Whether I've got to scrape and claw me out, grr, baby. Rah.
To prove that I am worthy of a challenge. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me.
And so speaking of, and I like that match. I mean, it's like, okay, good. This is fucking two AEW guys, you know, let's go. But MJF brought back the Burberry, the Triple B, and it's just everyone's stuck, man. We're doing the Triple B again. Everyone just gets their own custom belt. There's a billion belts. Someone posted a tweet that was uncanny that I read on the air, I think last week, or maybe this last Wednesday, where before the Death Riders, Mox was the number one babyface. Hangman was the world champ or whatever. Like, someone laid down a list of like 9 fucking things that were the exact same as they are now that the like Mox turned back babyface, and it's like a year later, nothing's progressed. Everyone's stuck in the mud. And I mean, the Triple B suits MJF, but it just fucking stinks when everyone gets their own custom title and everyone has 14 fucking titles. Everybody's tired of this shit. It just doesn't get anyone over. So speaking of not getting anyone over and having a million titles, Willow Nightingale has defeated Mercedes Moné to become the new AEW TBS champion, which Willow kind of makes sense. I think I might have called that one, or I think I went off on an angry rant about how they could get this person or that person over. And I said, but watch, she's going to put over fucking Willow. And I wasn't even talking about this match. I think it was way before this match was ever a thing, but it's like, it's going to be Willow because of the time they had fighting over that New Japan Strong title or
Sometimes
whatever the
in
fuck
life,
I
you gotta
said.
be a hoe.
And then it ended up being Willow. Now, good, but like, who saw it? They've done, Willow could be like their top homegrown star. She could be bigger than Monet and all these girls if they just fucking booked her right. And they just hid her title win away on this fucking New Year's smash. Now, crowd was going nuts for it. I ain't gonna lie. People are tired of Monet. She is dropping the belts one by one, seemingly, unlike people said. People were like, nah, she'll give it to someone else. She'll whatever. And we don't have people acknowledging. I don't know. I kind of put Monet over. I like that she roasts Meltzer. I like that she doesn't let the sickos make her spurg out. She just kind of like leans into the shit or is like, fuck you, and then just keeps it moving. It's funny, but like I think she's her with the 14 belts is cringe. I think she ruined the women's blood and guts. Like, I am critical of her at the same time. She is a good wrestler, but I always thought Mercedes Moné, and I thought this in WWE as well, it's all about who she's wrestling. And I think that's evident by her matches in AEW. Her matches are either just real boring and shit, or she has a partner like Stephanie Vaquer or like a Rio or like a Willow, and then they make some shit happen. And or like a Tony Storm or whatever, then Monet has and it's the same thing in WWE. It's the same thing in WWE. Her greatest match is like, is with Bayley and shit. I'm not trying to knock her, but I just have never thought she was like the greatest wrestler ever. But, she's doing her thing. She did what she said she was going to do. She was going to go wrestle the Indies, wrestle Japan, paying it forward, right? Put Alex Windsor over, put Red Velvet over, put Willow over, put Tony over, put Chris Statlander over. So for everybody who was like shitting on Monet and how she was going to do this shit, you're
Sometimes
wrong.
in life,
you know
you
what I
gotta be a
mean?
hoe.
Like, you were wrong. She actually dropped them one at a time, and good for her. And she is dropping them. Who knows if she does it on the Indies, but she has with Alex Windsor. So now, has it elevated anyone? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think Monet is a needle mover in any way in AEW. To steal like a fucking very Mark term. But I just kind of feel bad for Willow. I feel good for her. But the problem with AEW is that like next week, are they going to have a video package explaining the story and the journey and then her finally winning the title? Like, it was this epic moment, and we're going to have the TBS championship celebration here, Cole. Here tonight, Cole. I know people shit on WWE for doing that stuff, but that's what makes good TV. And this is the perfect time to do that, because it was on New Year's Smash that no one watched, man. And like, again, they're hiding the fucking Christmas and New Year's numbers and shit. We haven't got ratings for Dynamite, I don't think, for like 2 weeks, man. So why is Dave Meltzer not sleuthing them out? Why is John Alba not sleuthing them out? Calling Tony Khan. Hey, do you have the numbers for these last? Because they know it's fucking bad as well. And it's just sort of shitty that Monet is like, yeah, I'll lose to her on this thing. Like, at least say, no, I'll do it at the pay-per-view. 140,000 buys, according to Dave. I'll do it there. I'll do it on the Dynamite, that the first one that doesn't fucking have basketball on, or football, or Christmas, or New Year's on the same day, Like, it just kind of sucks for Willow. And she just, again, has 2 belts. Like, you do this whole tag tournament, and then you give her a tag belt, and then instead of fucking establishing the tag division, you put Willow in 8 women tags and then a fucking singles match, and then she wins a singles title, and now she's not focusing on either division. It's just like, this tag belt was just a thing to do because Tony loves belts. That's all he's telling us. And we know this because the history repeats itself, man. We've seen everybody, they're just stuck in a time loop in AEW. And again, we have Joe has 2 belts. He has a trios belt. He's, not doing anything to establish that division because he's a fucking singles champ, and then he loses the 1 belt, and then now here's another double champ, and then Okada's a double champ, but he loses 1 belt, and then he becomes a singular champ again. It's just too much of like the same shit to where this doesn't fucking matter. And I feel bad for Willow, but like, obviously she feels great. I'm not trying to like rain on her parade. But yeah, Mercedes Monet's Historica Reina as AEW TBS champion has officially come to an end at 584 days. 584 days. Damn. And so she's lost all the key titles. Okay. And speaking of this New Year's show, Alfred Konuwa, This Is Nasty, Pro Wrestling Bits, caught this, and he posted, this is the greatest moment in the history of our sport. TBS just aired a commercial for viewers to switch over to CNN right before Dynamite aired. You cannot make this up. These WBD negotiations are off to a great start. And this is what motherfuckers got to understand. They're telling you right away, like, go switch to watch the New Year's Eve. Who's on the CNN one? It's like Anderson Cooper and who's the other guy? What's his name? Andy Cohen. I'm probably just botching that, but yeah, they're like, go, like, head on over to CNN and then Dynamite starts. Like, that's what AEW is. It's just like a placeholder show where they can just advertise WB shit, sell some ads, fucking, and hopefully they get 500,000 viewers. You know, pray for 500,000 now. I'm so curious to see how bad the viewership was on Christmas and fucking New Year's Eve, though.
Times Square. Yeah! This is a place you can come and talk to cats. I knew you were going to like this. New Year's Eve Live with Anderson and Andy starts now.
Yeah, Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen. I mean, they're promoting it. Starts now. Live coverage. Head on over. CNN. See on the CNN app, guys. And then AEW starts. For the sickos. Oh, man. Isn't Anderson Cooper a Fed or something like that? Wasn't he in the CIA or some shit? Speaking of conspiracies, right? But MJF is set to defend the AEW world title at an indie event. Cooked, man. Cooked. And this is what MJF always does. He comes to work, he takes the title, and then he does shit like this. He goes and wrestles for indies and stuff. He's supposed to be their fucking TV star. He's supposed to be a commodity for AEW. He's fleeced Tone harder than anybody, man. So he is going to go to an indie event, I guess, and risk fucking injury because speaking of retirements and injuries and returns and all of this good shit, AEW's Mercedes Martinez has announced that 2026 will be her final year actively competing as a full-time professional wrestler. And she's like 26, different mindset, different fire. This is my last year as a full-time active professional wrestler. So she's not even retiring. She's just going to part-time, but I thought she was part-time. People were like, she's an AEW wrestler. I'm like, dude, she's still in AEW? Talk about fucking conspiracies, man. Like, where the fuck has she been? She's just been ghosted since Mercedes Moné came in, or what? Can't have the same name as her? I don't remember seeing Mercedes Martinez in the last, I couldn't even tell you how long. 3 fucking years, I feel like. So that's crazy that she's still under contract. I thought for sure she wasn't with AEW anymore, but there you go. Madison Rayne announces her retirement following a Ring of Honor loss. So they bring Madison Rayne in. She's like the coach of the women. They did a couple decent things with her on TV on Dynamite. Then just nothing really happened. And everyone was like, what the fuck are they doing with Madison Rayne? Why'd they bring her in? What was the point of this? And now she just takes a random L on her Ring of Honor and announces her retirement, which is good. Like, get your office. I'm sure Tony's paying her well. I'm sure Tone had her fucking poster on her wall. And all this shit on her wall, on his wall, rather. He wishes he was on her walls. Oh, go. Hit the like button. And yeah, she announces her retirement, dude. So thank you, Madison Rayne. who's still just incredibly good looking. I'm not saying she's an old bag or anything, but how old is Madison Rayne? Madison Rayne, age 39 years. Yeah. So, moving along here. So Tony Khan announced that Scorpio Sky will not be cleared to wrestle with Shelton Benjamin tonight on Collision. Dante Martin will be taking his spot versus Shelton. So again, Dante Martin, just a guy sitting on the bench. Maybe he's working in Ring of Honor, but where the fuck has he been at? Where's Top Flight? Where are these teams Tony should have been developing this whole fucking time? He stinks so bad. So Dante Martin's replacing Scorpio Sky, who cannot stay healthy. For some reason, man, Scorpio Sky goes to AEW and he just cannot stay healthy. And I feel so bad for the guy. I love Scorpio Sky. I've always thought he was awesome. And SCU is really great, especially when AEW first started. And a lot of that was based on their like cocky, their arrogant fucking promos matched with their wrestling skill. And Scorpio Sky was a guy that even Tone at one point was like, hey, this guy's going to be somebody. We're going to make him the television champion or the TNT title, whatever the fuck. We're going to sort of make him stand out as an individual from SCU or whatever. And he used to be Mason Andrews in TNA. And I was even a fan of him then. Not even like a fan. It was just a guy that you look at and you're like, hey, this guy could be somebody. Like, he's got a good look. He works really well. But yeah, just he comes to AEW and he's just fucking injury prone. Can't stay healthy. And it's incredibly unfortunate. And shout out Dante Martin because he's a great young talent as well, but there's no progression. We haven't seen any progression. He's going to come and do some backflips. Okay, we've seen him do that already, man. Let's fucking, like in NXT, that kid would be so much more. Speaking of so much more, we have some numbers to talk about here. So AEW presents Revolution. This is coming up in March 15. And the setup is for 8,700. And the tickets distributed already, 7,700. Shout out AEW. That's good, man. It's good for them this far out. They're just 1,000 away from their setup. Now, is like, do they need to fill this bitch? The last time they were there did they do 11,000? Yeah. Or almost 12,000? Yeah. They should probably fucking figure that out. The building's going to be half empty. But goddamn, man. That's actually good that this far out they've sold that many tickets. Speaking of sales, Dave Meltzer. Now, speaking of fucking conspiracies, and then you have John Alba just simping like a little cuck for fucking AEW. Like, listen to what fucking Alba has to say. So this Aaron Loves Wrestling guy says, could TNA actually pass AEW as wrestling's number 2 promotion? TNA moves to AMC. Here, I need to look if this is true. Does Mark Cuban own Anthem? So Mark Cuban does not own Anthem Sports and Entertainment. He sold a majority stake in his HDNet channels to Anthem in 2019. Okay. So he's an investor in them, but he doesn't own them. Oh, he retains ownership stake and continues as an equity partner. Okay, so like maybe if I'm sure they've went knocking at Mark Cuban's door though with their hands out before, but they could possibly fucking I don't know, man. If they impress on AMC, man, why couldn't he swoop in and give them a bunch of money? It's not like they couldn't Like John Alba just copes after. I'm going to read you this, but to me, with a $30 million TV deal, it's like if they do good and then the next one is bigger and better, then we'll really be able to gauge it. As far as attendances and shit are concerned and viewership, yeah, I don't think they're going to start beating Dynamite, but I bet they beat some Collisions and shit. There's going to be times where Collision has to go to Thursday, and I bet we'll see TNA slap them around. I bet we'll see AEW win a couple too. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome, man. I can't wait. A couple weeks away. Shout out TNA. But TNA's moved to AMC, roughly 60 million US homes. TNA averages around 100K viewers now on Access TV and TNA Plus. With AMC support, the promotional pushes, key lead-ins, and event tie-ins hitting around 200K to 300K plus viewers. It is so fucking cringe that this is what the fuck. Like, aren't you just a fan, bro? What are you talking about? Viewers regularly in 26 is a plausible projection. Well, at least Aaron Loves Wrestling's keeping it real, and he's clearly listening to PWT. Right? They could do 300K viewers regularly in 26 as a plausible projection. Dynamite averages 450 to 520 viewers with signs of stagnation. Throughout 2025, Dynamite has tended to average roughly 480 to 520. Though special events like Blood and Guts is significantly higher, around 600. TNA shown real growth in 25. Weekly Impact tapings typically draw 1,000 to 2,000. Average weekly attendance Dynamite and Collision is approximately 3,100 to 32 per WrestleTix. Estimated ticket distributions for 25 regular touring stops. I don't think it's around 3,100. I don't think, does Dynamite average 3,100? It's got to be closer to 2K now. There ain't no fucking way. Maybe they do enough of like the random 4 and 5s. Or whatever, because Dynamite will randomly do like 4,000 people there or whatever. So maybe, but they've been doing like 1,100 and 900 tickets and shit like that in 25, bro. And provided that's a residency, but like still doing fucking sub 1,000. That's crazy. TNA isn't too far off. Is this just noise or early signs of a power shift? Now, here's what I'm going to tell everybody. All you fucking redacted sickos, all you fucking hack pundits like John Alba, who AI could do their fucking jobs. I'm going to tell this to all you motherfuckers, and you better listen, okay? Because Phil don't fucking miss, okay?
Just
Let
in
me tell
from
you
Phil
this right
Marks
now.
of PWT. He says, I told you so.
The conversation now is TNA versus AEW. Perception is everything. I'll say it one more time. Perception is everything. And the conversation is what? TNA versus AEW, period. So that's what it is now. That's what it is. It doesn't matter. You can flip-flop, spurg out, go, but the key demo, Brian, and 15 to 59. You can do all this dumb shit, all you fucking want, but the max numbers, Phil Marks, with your tongue out, pass me a float. You can do whatever the fuck, say whatever you want. Perception is everything. The people will tell you what it is. John Alba, you don't get to tell people what it is. And look at his response to this. So everybody comparing WWE to AEW forever, this entire time. John Alba isn't there going, this needs to stop. Comparing AEW to WWE, this needs to stop right now. He's never made a statement like that, but now he's all, he gets his interview with Tony Khan, and now he's just fucking all, we need to stop this. So here's what John Alba tweeted out as cope. He goes, I need people to understand that even if TNA does well in viewership on AMC, and I think it can, its infrastructure is not even in the same stratosphere. The fucking cope. Bro, the infrastructure don't mean shit, dude. Shut the fuck up. Doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Why? Because people want to work there and they don't need to get overpaid to fucking do it. What's the infrastructure in AEW? Though you mean the infrastructure they've been downsizing gradually, while TNA is slowly upsizing, slowly and slowlier. and now they have some money to throw at shit. It's crazy, man. And it's crazy that Alba's going to sweep, dude. The infrastructure is not even in the same stratosphere as WWE or AEW's. Yeah, but as far as the fans are perceived, I thought it's fuck capitalism and why are we looking at all this shit? Let's just enjoy the wrestling and all, but they put on great shows and the creative peaks. I thought it was about creative peaks for Sports Illustrated, John. I thought you guys handed out all the awards to AEW, not because they're in the same ballpark as WWE on that side of things, but because of the creative peaks. Now it's, the infrastructure is not the same. Okay, but what if the people tell you TNA is a better fucking show, dude? Then what? You
are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
The people decide, dude, not you. And so John Alba is now saying it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint for TNA. Sounds familiar. These comparisons gotta stop. Why? Why do they gotta stop? Why? Why should they? Why can't we compare them? Why? Everybody's had to sit here and listen to WWE and AEW be compared, which early on in 2019, 2020, you could compare the two for a little bit. You could. Now, not so much. So what does AEW get compared to? What's the next best thing? Who's the only other company getting tens of millions of dollars invested into them from TV networks and shit? TNA, dude. So that's who they're getting compared to. Their attendances are similar. Their ratings could be similar. So they're similar. You want to make it about the money now? Oh, now it's about the money? Now it's about, well, Tone's got so much money. And that's what all these sickos do. That's why they're fucking cooked. They can cope and bring up all this shit. WWE's ticket sales have gradually, there's been 30% less people over time, and no one wants to talk about it. Yeah, they're charging way more for fucking tickets. And they're doing, even their non-televised events are fucking drawing insane numbers still. And you have to isolate SmackDown. If you look at Raw and their pay-per-views, you're cooked. You're cooked in that. You can't even compare it. Like, SmackDown's the shittier show. AEW's the shittier show, bro. Now people are arguing TNA's got a better show and they have a better shot. Okay, well, we'll see. Creatively, right, John Alba? We'll see how they peak creatively. Isn't that what it's all about at the end of the day, right? But no, we can't compare them. No, there's no way. Stop comparing them. AEW, Tony Khan could just buy and paper the house more. What infrastructure? Do you got a stage? Do you got a ring? Do you got microphones? You got TV cameras? Okay. We'll see. We'll see who draws. We'll see what people watch. Oh, but this company has more money in the bank. John Alba's the same cuck going, can you believe people cheering capitalism? Why didn't you ask Tone about why he makes the fans chant pay-per-view? Tone literally makes his fans chant pay-per-view at him. Why doesn't capitalism suck then? Is it about creative peaks or is it about Tony's bank account, John? I think it's about Tone's bank account now for you, bud. No, anyways. And then speaking, pay-per-view buys, complete and utter lies here. So, Dave Meltzer posted this again. We'll put flutes in the chat. I mean, fucking Dave is just, I can't believe he's still on with this shit. And I've told you guys this, and now that Dave Meltzer, or now that the UFC is on Paramount and pay-per-view is not a thing anymore in that realm, Dave is officially irrelevant in MMA. Because when MMA pundits go, what were the pay-per-view numbers on this thing? It's Dave Meltzer's what comes up. They don't understand he's been proven a fraud a billion fucking times in pro wrestling. And so the Wrestling Observer is what comes up as like, oh, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reports, here's the pay-per-view buys. And they just look at it like, well, he's been tracking pay-per-view buys for 50 years, but UFC doesn't have pay-per-view anymore. So he's irrelevant in that world now. And he's irrelevant in pro wrestling. Well, he's not actually. Dave is relevant. He absolutely is. Just his ideas are irrelevant. And so he's like lolcowing himself. He's like memeing himself into obliviacry. Smashed his knees into obliviacry. You know what I'm saying?
Smashed your knee to obliviacry.
And that's why I kicked your leg from your leg, Dave. But early indications are AEW, Worlds and, except will do the same or, better pay-per-view buys than Full Gear, which drew around 140,000. So these are lies. Dave is the source on pay-per-views, as we hear. He just automatically, since Amazon's been a thing, he's been automatically adding 30% of what he... So he gets a number, and let's say it's around 90,000. He'll just add 30% to that because of Amazon, Brian, and because now you can buy it on Max. He's too retarded to understand that now that they've added it on Max and Amazon, there's probably people who bought pay-per-view the traditional way. There's probably a bunch of them who now just buy it through those if it's easier. It's not that there's more of them. It's probably less traditional buys, and then Dave's going, but plus 30% on it. No. No, it's the same fucking people, dude, who were buying it traditionally. So he just lies. Even though the Google Trends, the analytics, nothing would indicate that this was as popular of a pay-per-view. The trends were that Full Gear was trending higher than World's End. And then the estimate comes out that World's End did 140,000 buys. It's just not real, bro. You can't trust it because Dave's the only source. If someone else comes out and goes, no, Phil Marks, they did do around fucking... If Tony Khan came out, he has to know the buys. If he doesn't, he's an incompetent fucking twink. But if he's Dave's little twink, But if he... So he must know the buys. There's no way. So there's got to be like the number Tone tells Dave, and then Dave just adds 30%, because there's no way, unless someone else like Tone or like Amazon goes, yep, 30% on top of that, of what that number or whatever the fuck. You just can't believe anything Dave says. He's the only source.
Goddamn liar!
He's the only source. So I would say, to be fair to AEW, 140,000 minus 30%. Minus 30%. So 98,000 buys. Let's give them that. I'll give them that. I've always said about 100,000, and that's being generous. I'll give them 100,000 pay-per-view buys each time, around 90 to 100. So minus 30% on that, 98,000. Okay. I think that's roughly what it was. It's not what Dave's saying. He just adds 30% because of Amazon automatically. He admitted to that. If people are sitting here going, oh, come on now, Phil, that's not very fair. Where did he say that? Just go back. There's a playlist, Dave Meltzer, dumb moment of the week. Okay. And you can see where it appears he said that. Not appears. It's where he fucking said that. Okay. Guys, sorry, I see a super chat here from George Capture for 5. Says, oh, by the way, Tony was live a bit earlier tonight to explain all of this crap. Excellent. So George Capture's been on Tony Khan Walter, I believe, and we have a Tony Khan live segment, of course, and it's perfect time because we're getting into the Takeshita and the Tony Khan Cringe section. Now, Tone hasn't gone live in a while because I've been roasting him. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yes, let's get into, guys, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Make sure you check it out, okay? So this is what Konosuke Takeshita is doing a day before defending his IWGP World title in a sold-out Tokyo Dome. There, he is hosting a Diddy party here in some Fed. This is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Getting his ass ruled. Taking fucking back shots, dude. I think after Nakazawa ran out with the fucking baby oil. And yeah, this is what he's doing the night before a sold-out Tokyo Dome. And Tsuji fucking, I think, might be right about what is this guy doing? Like, I'm trying to put New Japan on my back, bro. And he is just... Damn, dude. He is getting fucked in the ass harder than one of these per diem wrestlers in ROH. You know what I'm saying? Heyo. And so Yota Tsuji had this to say, or he didn't have this to say. We covered what he's had to say. He's been like, fuck Takeshita, pretty much. And I've raised the conspiracy, like, listen, maybe Tsuji's doing the Gabe Kid thing, you know? Like, maybe he's talking shit because Tony's going to poach this guy and whatever. But at the same time, he hasn't really been featured like that in AEW in any significant way. Tsuji's trying to put clout on the global title. He's facing Takeshita, winner takes all. Hopefully they just merge the belts together and it's just the IWGP heavyweight title. The global heavyweight title, essentially, New Japan fans, I think, would agree that it's essentially just like the continental title. It's just like a fucking stupid belt that they made, you know, because their world champ was fucking off in AEW type shit. Who knows if Tsuji's coming over or not. He said he has a 3-year plan, though, for New Japan. And he's like, fuck AEW. And Fightful Select reported that New Japan sources do not believe Tsuji was in character when speaking about his feelings on the AEW New Japan relationship. Who knows what Fightful's New Japan sources are. Fightful has had a couple lately. They're reporting shit like Liv Morgan is going to be factored into WrestleMania significantly. It's like, oh, one of their top stars, you fucking think? Like, how do people pay for this shit? I have no idea. But yeah. Let's hope Fightful's right about that, okay? And so this guy here, AEW Highlights, tweets, I'm not surprised he said that. And here's Tsuji, man. Like, he's with Shinsuke, he's with AJ, he's with Punk backstage. It's him and Takahashi, and he's backstage with, you know, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. This was recently when they were in Japan, when WWE was in Japan, I believe. And if not, yeah, this was recently. And so it's not that that's anything like Okada's done that. Lots of guys do that. They're fucking pro wrestlers. All the New Japan guys go to the show. There was the one WrestleMania where all the New Japan guys were sitting in the crowd when Braun Strowman went out in the crowd to go find Nicholas or whatever. Y'all remember Nicholas? And yeah, they're sitting there and like fucking Suzuki and these guys and like Ishii and shit are sitting in the crowd. So they'll even travel over for WrestleMania. Like, all these guys respect and love WWE and whatnot. It would be awesome to see Tsuji go to fucking WWE too. I'm all about like the way international. I know Vince Russo's like, bro, I can't speak English or get out of my country, bro. But you know, these international stars like Stephanie Vaquer doesn't got to speak perfect English, and she can cut a half on Espanol promo, and Asuka can speak half on Japanese and fucking whatever. It works, man. People are like, we can Google what they said. Speaking of which, I translated what Nakamura said, or someone translated it, and I got the translation rather of what Nakamura said to Tama Tonga. They, you know, people use the internet now. I mean, yes, to an old head viewer, it might be a bit of a turnoff or something, I guess. But, and some people don't like it. They don't like the overtopness of the Kabuki Warriors and shit like that. But I just think it's 2025, man, or 2060. You're so 2008. I'm living in the past. Time cap. It's still 2005 to me, damn it. It's 2005. I'm fucking all over the place here, just like Time Cop. But 2026 though, dude, it's 2026. Like, we got to get over that shit. You know, I truly believe that in MMA, whatever sport, it doesn't matter what language you speak. If you translate, if you got past the sauce test, you know, if the sauce is hitting, if you have aura, it fucking translates, you know, and people online, people can read subtitles. In fact, every fucking clip you see online, they add subtitles because people like that shit. How many of you guys, show of hands class in chat, how many of you guys watch Netflix with the subtitles on and shit? You know what I'm saying? How many of you read books? Show of hands. It's weird because books, people like audiobooks now, but when you're watching shows, people like turning the volume way down a lot of times and reading the subtitles, man. A lot of people like that shit. And we're capable of reading subtitles / Googling what the fuck the one sentence they said on a show was. You know, so I just think that Tsuji would be awesome if he came to WWE eventually one day, but I want to see him usher in a resurgence. Let's see Tsuji get Nakamura over there for a match for the world title in Nuge. I want to see a Nuge resurgence, man. And maybe it could be on his back. I don't know, though. I don't know if the fans like view Tsuji as like he's a god and shit, but they don't have to right now. People didn't see John Cena as that way either at first, you know, but look, he became fucking John Cena. I'm sure people didn't see, they put Hulk Hogan in a fucking mask at first, you know, then he became fucking Hulk Hogan. So moving along here, who's ready for the best guys, Tony Khan? Let me actually hydrate a little bit before I just need to chug some water.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Got the heat cranked up in this bitch. We're going to look at some Tony Khan Cringe, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Time. Support your boy, Phil Marks. What is chat saying? Soda water. I'm just sad New Japan pulled local Aussie and NZ shows. NZ Dojo Island Crew, Rock, and Fale does so much for the local Auckland community. It's up to WWE, man. You guys could just disgustingly hear me chug. There's like 250 watching across 40 watching across X and YouTube. Only 50 likes. That is unacceptable. Jericho, tell them how unacceptable.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Let me get wild. Yay!
Thank you, Chris. And if likes don't get up to 100, he will be doing another run-in. Although I think the people want that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a segment within a segment, and it is called The Best Guys, Tony Khan.
Tony Khan. This is great.
So Tony Khan fucking humiliated himself recently again, pulling a Dave Meltzer, asking Grok, these guys are such fucking lame ducks. They fucking ask Grok shit. They react to Grok shit. Not that you can't ask Grok shit, but like, when Dave is sitting there trying to correct Grok and he's like having arguments, Grok agrees with me that this or Grok, whatever the fuck, it's cringe. It's super fucking cringe. People are asking Grok dumb shit and then Tony Khan's responding to it now. And then he gets completely fucking pwned by AEW neckbeards, which was so funny. And we're going to react to that. And then we're going to watch a Tony McCon live video that I have pulled up here. But basically what happened is this Aaron Loves Wrestling. Again, this guy. Or no, not him. Aaron Rift of NoDQ.com. Fuck, I thought that was the same person for some reason, but I guess not. I thought like that Aaron guy was this Aaron, like the no DQ guy. Whatever, my bad. All these sickos look alike. No. So he asks, "Hey Grok, remove the worst wrestling booker from this image and keep the best one." And then Grok puts up this image and says, "The best guys,
Tony Khan.
Oh my God, dude. So Tony Khan then responds and goes, "Thank you, Grok. Hashtag AEW Collision. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. 5.5K sickos like this shit, dude. Crazy, dude. Oh, man." And so Meltzer said, "What the fucking goat?" chimes in. This is my guy right here. And so then he re-asks Grok some shit. And then Grok says, "This post features an edited image where Paul Heyman's face is obscured in a side-by-side photo with Tony Khan, responding to a fan's prompt to remove the worst wrestling booker and retain the best, implying Tony Khan's superiority in creative decisions. This take contrasts mainstream views, praising Heyman's WWE storytelling legacy as seen in his ECW and WWE runs." So Grok thinks Grok thinks Triple H is fucking Paul Heyman, dude. You know what I'm saying? And then Tony Khan thanked Grok. And this is what I mean. Like right now, the big thing that's going on, and a lot of these sickos are doing shit like this, which we'll see in the sicko segment. I'm not going to play any of the fucking videos, but sickos and wackos are like saying, "Hey, put Liv Morgan in a bikini and shit." Or like you take a picture of any celebrity or any girl posts a picture of herself, and then people will go, "Grok, put this girl in a bikini," or whatever. And AI is just fucking crazy to where, it looks super fucking realistic and shit, but people are posting these and we're seeing wrestler ones, and it's just such down bad sicko fucking activity. This is where AI, like some legal shit's gonna happen. You shouldn't be allowed to type in like, whatever the fuck, Rhea Ripley, now put her in a thong or whatever. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think that's fucked up. Even if they post their nudies and shit online, and I tell you guys all the time, don't be simping and shit, okay? But like simping for AI is like doubly worse. I'd rather you guys simp for OF models just normally and shit than simp for AI images of them. It's just crazy. It's fucked up, man. There's gotta be some like ramifications to that. I don't know. There's gotta be repercussions, not to Grok, not even like to Elon. It's not just a Twitter problem. It's AI in general. Okay. So I just, it's fucked up. And I mean, at one point you had Grok like putting people in like Nazi outfits and shit, and then they made it so you can't do prompts like that. Now, if you look at Elon Musk's Twitter, like he's posted like big titty anime angel warrior girls and is like, "This new AI whatever the fuck." So I don't know if but I'm sure you could just make it so Grok can't do that. That would be the easiest solution. I don't know about there's new AI platforms and companies coming out every fucking 2 minutes. So I don't know. Grok is just the fact though that Tone goes, "Thanks, Grok," with what Grok's been doing recently. Like it's doing some bad shit. And then also just when Dave Meltzer was arguing with Grok, it's so fucking cringe. Under every single post, someone goes, "Explain this," or whatever. And I'm not saying don't ask Grok shit, but you have to double check shit. Like, the last thing you do, like I Googled Wrestle Kingdom. Grok is like one of the 4 things you got to look up before you can go, okay, it's accurate. You got to like doubly check with Google because they use AI. Like Google will use AI now too. And who knows if it's 100% accurate? Probably not. It's craziness. It's madness. I'm also not like an AI doom and gloomer, but at the same time, like, people are relying on it so much. You have Tone responding, "Thanks, Grok," to a Booker of the Year post. And it's just such bad optics right now when you have a problem with wrestlers in particular, like women's wrestlers having people, sickos literally making videos of like Liv Morgan and then sending them to her and shit. Like, it's already sicko and wacko enough that you make a video of her using AI. Or I keep saying Liv Morgan because that was the prime example I saw, but I'm sure it's happening to tons of it. But then you send it to them after, like, they don't know what their body looks like in your imagination, you sick freak. God damn it. So anyways, I don't know. Grok thought Triple H was Paul Heyman. And then here's another Grok answer that someone posted. I'd keep Triple H. He's elevated WWE with strong. So this Marcus Bridges asks the same thing. Who you think is better and remove the worst. And then Grok goes, I'd keep Triple H. He's elevated WWE with strong, consistent booking and character development. Tony Khan has creative highs in AEW, but inconsistencies hold him back. So I'd remove him. What's your pick? So it's like everyone could ask and you're going to get, it's like the algorithm. You're all going to get a different fucking answer. But it's just so, it's just cringe. It's so cringe that everyone's going to bat for this guy, you know? And then Neckbeards, dude. AEW Neckbeards goes, hey, Grok, remove the person from the photo who is least likely to be a drug addict and a lonely virgin. And then it put Tony Khan, man. He just felt in him, dude. That's fucking
The best guy is Tony Khan.
To be a drug addict and a lonely virgin. That's so fucking lethal, man. Oh, God. That's way too funny. Man, that's so funny, even though it's so fucking mean. Roast. Fuck it. It's a roast. So, speaking of being felted, we have felted Tony Khan so fucking hard here at PWT that he stopped doing the Steamboat Tone and these videos for a little while. Now he's back. He has another one. So everybody strap in. This is Tony Khan. It looks like he's sitting at the cuck chair in a hotel room. He just finished watching Dave and Brian fucking discuss Booker of the Year, right? And let's see what Steamboat Tone has to say.
Hey, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining me today. Happy New Year. I think it's safe to say that for at least one more day here. And I'm very excited. Tonight, we're going to have a great AEW Saturday Night Collision. We're just minutes away from Collision. It's been an extra exciting day, and there's been some unexpected excitement. One of the matches I was really looking
Yeah, dude, I love the casino. I'd have PPP on fucking tomorrow.
forward to tonight.
He loves wrestling. Shout him out.
Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Syndicate versus Scorpio Sky of Skyflight. This was a match I was really excited about. Scorpio Sky is not going to be cleared tonight by the doctors. It's
I was really excited. Here's something I was excited about. I was really excited that fucking Scorpio Sky's injured again and can't compete.
With a late change, Scorpio Sky's tag team partner, his protege in Skyflight, Dante Martin, a really exciting homegrown young star, has stepped up. And Dante, who's from Minnesota himself, has said,
Minnesota,
I really want to get in there. I would love this opportunity. With Scorpio Sky not being cleared, please give me the opportunity. I want to wrestle.
And I promise I'm not funding any Somali daycares. Okay.
Shelton Benjamin tonight on
Minnesota.
Collision. That's what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. Dante Martin versus Scorpio Sky's prior opponent, Shelton Benjamin. Now Dante's going to step in for Sky to wrestle Shelton tonight. Again, two great athletes from Minnesota. a top veteran, Shelton Benjamin, and an exciting young star,
Well, why don't you tell me what's happening in Minnesota?
Dante Martin. And it's a great opportunity for Dante. And Shelton's got a lot to prove himself, because this Wednesday night, he'll be wrestling the AEW Continental Champion, Jon Moxley. Speaking of Jon Moxley and the Death Riders, they are in the house. I'm very
We know, bro. They're in every fucking show ruining it.
very excited about tonight. We'll have
We know you're very excited about it. You just said that. Why doesn't he clip this into 7-minute long clips and then fucking upload them as like with subtitles and edits? And why is it always filmed so fucking poorly? Like, why is his feet and the gym floor in it? Or the fucking, we can see the roof, dude. We can see the ceiling tiles, but we can't, you know what I mean? And then it's like he covers half it and then it's the other half. It's like, bud, no one, who the fuck, is this your intern again? Is she standing on the bed right now?
Wheeler Yuta of the Death Riders taking on somebody who's been a real nemesis of that group, somebody who's been a thorn in the side of the Death Riders, Darby Allin. Darby Allin's wrestled all these great members of the Death Riders, but one person he hasn't beaten and gone through is Wheeler Yuta. Yuta says, Darby, you got to go through me if you want to get to Pac. Well, we'll find out what happens on Collision tonight. So I'm excited about Darby Allin versus Wheeler Yuta. Very excited about Dante Martin stepping in to wrestle Shelton Benjamin tonight. Also, we've got the Timeless Love Bombs, Timeless Tony Storm and Mina.
Hey, wait, whoa. So then he went back to Dante Martin versus Shelton Benjamin, buddy. Yeah, we already heard you fucking say that.
Shirakawa taking on two of the newest.
He went back to that after he's talking about other shit.
Signings in AEW, two of the very exciting young stars who've really.
Two very exciting young stars, Hyan and Maya World, they just fucking lose matches. You sign them and they do jobs. And they're a tag team, even though they both stand out as individuals in their own right, if you knew how to fucking book correctly. But it's just like Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. You're just going to stick them together. And they're going to do a job to the Timeless Love Bombs.
Earned a lot of respect from the wrestlers and the fans, and that's Hyan and Maya World. Hyan and Maya World are going to take on Tony Storm.
Yeah, dude, you guys hit up PPP. We'll get him on Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week, dude.
And Mina Shirakawa just minutes from now, tonight on Saturday Night Collision. So we had some great matches we announced that we're excited about.
And we'll roast Darkside Phil.
Another thing that really there's a lot of hype and excitement about is the debut here in the Esports Stadium of the Clone. The Clone, of course, has some similarities.
The Clone, my clone. I mean,
Collision. So we had some great matches. We announced.
He's saying El Clone. Isn't his name El Clone?
That we're excited about. Another thing that really there's a lot of hype and excitement about is the debut.
How cooked is it that Hologram is like hologram, and then El Clone is the clone of him, and people don't even fully really know what Hologram is, and he's on this undefeated run. He's hurt real bad because he can do all this crazy shit, and then El Clone, Hologram's clone, is debuting, but there's no fucking Hologram. It's just crazy, man. It's so bad.
You here in the Esports Stadium of the Clone.
The Clone. He's calling him the Clone, buddy. Oh my god.
The Clone, of course, has some similarities to Hologram. The Clone was involved in taking Hologram.
Dude, this is Vince McMahon in like the 90s, insulting people's intelligence, treating them, oh, I know, you're a school bus driver. Yeah, now get out there and drive that bus. Or you're... Tony hits you with shit. Well, there's Hologram, and then there's like the Clone. He's like a clone. Do you guys get it? And he looks similar. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. It's just straight fucking little kid shit, dude.
Out of AEW in the first place, and the Clone is somebody that I think is a very exciting young star. He's a member of the Don Callis family, looking for a top competitor, looking for a great wrestler to go against, somebody who knows that Lucha Libre style, a great submission wrestler, and somebody who's very popular with the fans here in the Esports Stadium is Angelico. who's been with us from our very first show.
Angelico, where the fuck has Angelico been?
And Angelico will take on the Clone in the Clone's debut tonight. So I'm very excited about this big Saturday fight night.
And then he keeps looking over to like the whiteboard or wherever someone's holding up a sign. He's got Dave Meltzer's holding the camera, or Brian is, and he's standing on the bed. No, because then he'd be at eye level with Tone. And then Dave Meltzer's like holding up the whiteboard in the background, holding up fucking cue cards rather.
A lot of great things on tap for tonight. Also, we have a great TNT champion, Mark Briscoe. After he was a part of the big Mixed Nuts Mayhem, Mark Briscoe wants to get back to making.
Oh, guys, it's just that, like, okay, he was a part of the big Mixed Nuts Mayhem. No, it wasn't big, man. It wasn't big. No one knows what that is. You're convoluting. This should be a 3-minute in and out, break down what's going to happen on the fucking show, and get out of there, Tone. The first time I said it, he did it one time. Here, he's just bumblefucking for 7 minutes to nobody. Everyone who's going to watch this show already. It's like, who is this for? I don't understand who this is even for. Tell people on the TV show. Maybe you'll get more TV viewers. Why would people tune in and watch this? The sickos already know. And this is like Mark Zuckerberg. Like, you don't feel personable, bro. You come across like a space alien or a fucking robot.
Champion.
Or a clone, dude. I swear Tone's got clones. I've said it before.
Championship defenses. I think we could have a great defense for Mark Briscoe next week. We'll find out who he's going to wrestle next Saturday for the TNT title tonight, because we have, and again, speaking of the great Lucha Libre style and the exciting action.
Who? When did you talk about, so you mean Angelico taking on El Clone, but did you bring up the great Lucha Libre style, or is that just shit in your head that you forgot to rattle off? And I just don't know at this point, man. There's no saving him.
On Collision, a match I would love to see, and we're going to have tonight, where the winner will earn a TNT title shot next Saturday.
How would anyone retain this information? Like, how?
It's going to be Hechicero versus Commander tonight here on AEW Saturday Night Collision.
So your show is MLW now. A bunch of old fucking luchadors. Oh my God. Shout out MLW, but Tone. So you're MLW now.
Very excited for Commander to take on Hechicero, and the winner of that match will wrestle Mark Briscoe for the TNT title right here on TNT, right here at the Esports Stadium, live next Saturday night. So Commander versus Hechicero, that should be a great match tonight. Really looking forward to that.
Checks over with the whiteboard.
Looking forward to that. Also, we've just had the return from Japan of the Megasis. Megan.
Oh my God. We just had the return of the Megasis from Japan.
Hechicero, that should be a great match tonight. Really looking forward to that. Also, we've just had the return from Japan.
Bro, you're all over the place, Tone.
Of the Megasis, Megan Bain, who has just come back to AEW. She's back here tonight. Megan Bain and the Problem, Marina Shafir, they formed the Mega Problems. They're great.
Oh, the Mega Problems. That's actually not a bad name, but you have the Mega Problems, Tone.
Singles wrestlers and a great team.
You got Mega Problems, Tone, on your hands. That's not a bad name, though, for a tag team.
They're here. They're looking for a fight tonight. With Megan being back and the Death Riders in the house, I think that's something to keep an eye on. And speaking of returns, last Saturday...
Guys, MLW isn't bad or anything. They just use like a lot of old fucking luchas, man.
We saw the return of Ortiz watching the back of his old friend, Eddie Kingston. They're going to be here tonight, and I'm excited to hear from Eddie Kingston and learn about the return of Ortiz.
He's holding the cup like it's a fucking Microphone, dude.
Week. And again, a lot of great action. Eddie and Ortiz, great individual wrestlers, but had the makings potentially.
And again,
Ortiz.
a lot of great action, buddy. You weren't talking about great action.
And again, a lot of great action. Eddie and Ortiz, great individual wrestlers, but had the makings potentially of a great combination too. And speaking of great combinations and great individuals, two of my favorites here in AEW in the past year and looking ahead to this next year are Jet Speed, the Jet Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey. We've got Jet Speed in the house.
I keep saying everyone's in the house. We got Jet Speed in the house. Yeah, we have great air conditioning. Also, Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight are here. Oh my God, dude.
And I understand that there's a bounty out on the head of Jet Speed. I was approached by Brian Keith and Big Bill, who've told me there's a price on the head of Jet Speed.
Then why, dude? First off, Tony, what's with the sass? Okay, look at this sass he's hitting us with. A. And B. So two guys walk in your office and go, there's a fucking bounty on Jet Speed's head for no reason other than, oh, Brian Keith and Big Bill are back, so let's book them. Oh, I forgot about Keith and Bill because I got Jet Speed, so let's bring them back to lose to fucking Jet Speed. And they walk in your office, why isn't this on the TV show? And they're like, we're putting a bounty on him. For what reason? Make us care about something. Oh, there's just a bounty because, you know, that's Brian Keith is the bounty hunter and I'm a fucking hack. Like, Tone, why isn't this on the show? And also, why can they walk in your office and go, there's a bounty on someone? And then you as the boss are just like, okay, well, I'll make a match. That should be part of the TV show, man. But instead, he's just cute and coy and zesty.
Price on the head of Jet Speed. And I know that Jet Speed have made a lot of enemies here in AEW. Big Bill and Brian Keith are aiming to collect that bounty. Of
course, why can fucking, so they're able to collect the bounty. So who put the bounty on their heads? So Brian Keith put the bounty on the head and is going to collect his own bounty? Do you understand how this stuff works, Tone? And it's like, let's say someone else did it, whatever, it's Ricochet or something because Jet Speed have made a lot of enemies or whatever. Why isn't this on the show? Why can Death Riders, Moxley kidnap people and shit, and then you cut these promos in your office going, oh, Moxley's pissed and he stormed in my office and said he wants... And it's like, bro, he just suffocated people with plastic bags last week. Like, why don't you reprimand him? Why don't you punish him? Why do you keep rewarding him? Oh, they put a bounty on two of my top young talents' heads, and I'm like, hey, let's let this go. Let's just see where it goes, and I'll just tell you guys from the cuck chair in my hotel room. The fuck are you doing, bud? This is terrible. Tony's the worst booker, I think, of all time.
Last week, Jet Speed teamed up against the Demand and Don Callis's family, so I know there's a lot of enemies of Jet Speed, and I know that Big Bill and Brian Keith want this match. Jet Speed want it too. So we're going to have that match tonight as well. There's so much to look forward to. Again, it's been a bit of a crazy day. We were really looking forward to Scorpio Sky taking on Shelton Benjamin tonight, with Scorpio Sky not cleared as a...
Bro, holy fuck, man. Oh my God. Tone, you already fucking said this, bro. Oh my God.
Fucking Mark!
Dude, you started the video saying this shit. Oh my God. Steamboat fucking Tone over here.
We're just saying, if you're joining us live here, catching up, Dante Martin of Skyflight has volunteered to step in.
If you're just joining us, man. So, like, he's doing this live. People are tuning in like it's a fucking radio show. If you're just joining me, 4 minutes ago, I told you about how. So, just a quick reminder. He just doesn't get how social media works, dude.
Changes elsewhere on the card to reflect this. It's going to be a great night of wrestling. Don't miss Saturday Night Collision. It starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, minutes from now on TNT, or you can stream it on HBO Max. And we love having live Saturday nights here on TNT. It's a real privilege, and we hope you'll join us for Collision minutes from now tonight. Thank you very much.
Minutes from now tonight. And he does this right before the show goes on the fucking air. And he's just dying to sip that fucking cup. He's just dying to sip out of that cup. Man, how fucking embarrassing, dude. Triple cup Tony Khan. Holy shit, guys. That was the best guy. I mean, I don't know what to say. They're fucking cooked.
The best
That
guy is
is
Tony Khan.
so funny. And yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen, was AEW News. Ichi Nissan. Duh. I'm glad, Tone, keep making these every week. I miss them. We missed you, Tone. Everything's great. Tony the Tiger. Oh my God. Round of applause for that segment. That was awesome. It was good to see Tony back, and he just still hasn't learned anything, hasn't adjusted anything. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's head over here. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. Let's get to 100 likes. Yeah, and you guys can super chat in, or you can become a member for 99 cents on YouTube. I do fucking bonus shows every Monday for members. And we're going to watch Raw/Stranger Things this Monday. So that'll be fun. Last Monday, we did like throwback botches and whatnot. So, ladies and gentlemen, banjos and guitars in the chat. It is time for a little TNA news. So Tessa Blanchard announces engagement to CMLL star Esfange. And she's going to go wrestle in CMLL while working for TNA and whatnot. If she hasn't already, she announced she'd be coming back. So interesting. Speaking of which, Mara Sade seemingly confirms that she is dating, I believe, Kevin Knight. Yes, Kevin Knight of Jet Speed. Mara Sade and Kevin Knight are dating, so good for them. At least Jet Speed, at least Kevin Knight's winning somewhere. Speaking of winning, TNA Impact on AMC has officially been added to YouTube TV. So big news for them. Shout out AMC, I guess. TNA Genesis will be live in Dallas on January 17th, a couple days after their live debut on AMC. And so let's see here. We have, these are the stars they have lined up. Are there any matches? Yes, Cedric Alexander versus Leon Slater versus Moose. And I thought they said Cedric was done there, but again, TNA will sign like 3-month fucking deals and shit like that. Elijah versus Mustafa Ali. JDC versus Eddie Edwards, and JDC, Johnny Curtis's last match, I believe, and then he retires. And that's courtesy of Tom Hannafan. He's great. Him and Aiden English are great on fucking commentary. Speaking of the AMC show, there's a couple matches announced. I guess I have this graphic up here. For the X Division title, Leon Slater versus Myron Reed, and this may be a rematch. I'm not sure, though. Could Myron Reed win this shit? I'm not sure. And then Frankie Kazarian versus Santana, which you got to think Santana is going to win the title from Kazarian, right? You got to think that's what's going to happen, but maybe it doesn't. But I'll be tuned in. I might even do that week. I might do a PWT run-in live TNA watch-along. I think we should. I think it's only fair. It's only just. It's only right that we do that PWT universe. And I know I typically, like I do Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. So maybe I'll just do that early and then fire up another stream and watch TNA right after I'm done that. We'll figure it out, but we got to give it its due. We got to give it its due here at PWT. So old Philly Phil's thinking he's going to do a watch along with you guys. I think it's only just. We did it for AAA. We might as well for TNA Live on AMC. It's such a huge deal. It's a monumental moment. So I was thinking about, I asked my wife too. I'm like, should I fucking do Wrestle Kingdom tonight? But it's just a matter of, if I'm tired, I'm going to bed, you know? So it's like, I don't know if it's the best idea, but for sure TNA, we're going to go live for the AMC show on a special run-in edition of PWT Live. So Matt Hardy predicts TNA will push AEW for the perception of the number 2 promotion in 2026. And Matt Hardy says TNA will push AEW for the perception of the number 2 wrestling company in 26. And I worded that in a specific, very specific way. I just think with this new deal, and then think about, is John Alba still Matt Hardy's co-host? This has got to stop, Matt. Stupid idiot. And this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. Matt Hardy gets it. Fucking Alba's one of these pompous cunts, thinks he fucking knows
Stupid
better
idiot.
than everybody. And you can't even think well enough to know that it's about what the fans say it is. It's about what perception is. It doesn't fucking matter what his bank account is. That's what y'all said about WWE. That's why you gave AEW all the awards. How could we even, everything has to be in its own category separate from WWE then, if you want to talk about infrastructure. Because AEW is not even close to WWE. Infrastructure-wise. They fucking hire high schoolers to do camera work and shit. Or you'd be like, Alba would be like, oh, come on, that's not very fair to bring up the high school union workers and shit, but it is. You're talking infrastructure. So who's got that down? Or are you just talking about bank accounts? I see right through you motherfuckers bullshit. Anyways, so Matt Hardy's just like, yeah, obviously monetarily, we're not going to be doing the same deal, especially for media rights. AEW are currently, but it is going to look and feel like a big time promotion, etc. We know that, Matt. You don't gotta fucking you do gotta tell Alba if he is your co-host.
Move me out of my misery.
So ladies and germs, that was TNA news. Where's my banjo? So we have WWE news to get into here next, and I can't wait for it. Let's share this tab. We have quite a bit of WWE news to get into. So, guys, there are 270 plus watching across X and YouTube, 65 likes, you sons of bitches. Now I'm going to fill the shill. Guys, the NordVPN holiday deal's still going on. 3 years, 75% off, 3 free months. Okay? It's like $250 a month, 30-day money-back guarantee, 10 devices. Protect yourself online. NordVPN.com/ProWrestleTimes. I use the shit. That's why I shill it to you guys. And yeah, get Canadian Netflix and YouTube. That's where all WWE is. Eventually, Netflix is going to own WBD, and AEW will be there too. If you're, but AAA, all that shit. Saturday Night Main Event. It's just all on YouTube in Canada. You just switch over to Canada, whatever, and it protects your shit while you're surfing the net. If you're just, using an American IP or whatever the fuck. So run those shits up. Okay, it is time for, ladies and gentlemen, WWE. So we had some appearances in the wild again. WWE's hot right now. And so here was Liv Morgan on Hell's Kitchen, just a little clip of it.
Did someone say champion?
Please welcome WWE superstar Liv Morgan.
And I saw fucking sickos like, oh, the way they didn't react at all. And it's like, well, this chick's having a melty. And if you ever watch Hell's Kitchen, when the celebrities come out, they don't overly mark out, or Gordon roasts them and shit. And when the celebrities sit at the chef's table, If chefs are fucking around being distracted by celebs, Gordon Ramsay gives them shit for that. So it's like they're trying to contain their excitement. Of course, you know this if you watch Hell's Kitchen. Tom, Phil Marks watches Hell's Kitchen. It's goddamn right. Goddamn right I do.
Morgan, what is going on right now? Are we gonna get a live wrestle match in front of us? Because
A live wrestle match in front of us.
I'm here for it.
How do you stay on top of your game?
A high level of commitment, a constant want for improvement, and always staying at the cutting edge of your game.
And then Braun Strowman. So again, I've talked about this. Strowman, he was there with Big E, and I'm not sure when they taped this shit, but it's when Liv had the world title is when this was filmed. So I'm not sure, like, was this right after Braun was released or whatever? Because the whole thing with that Braun Strowman eats everything, which WWE.com or WWE's YouTube rather, pardon me, is just uploading episodes of in full because they produced the goddamn show that came out after he was released, and that's why it was kind of a shock. Like, he was slated to do all this shit for them, and he might still, I don't know, they released Top Dollar, and then they still did that fucking Treasure Hunter show, or that whatever Most Wanted, or whatever the fuck it was called, whatever show he was a part of there. So it's not like they won't work with Strowman and shit, but yeah, that I could totally see them bringing him back eventually if he just took less money is the only thing, because he'd be doing less dates. But with the amount that the Wyatt Six is booked, he could be involved with them. You know, Strowman could come back and get in Tala Tonga's face or whatever the fuck. And he could just be like, I pop up here and there if he even wants to do that. But I mean, his show is pretty fucking popular. They're just uploading episodes to the WWE YouTube, though, of Strowman Eats Everything or whatever the fuck it's called. And we should watch that because they'll hit me on YouTube, but I should watch those with you guys on Patreon, I think. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Time. So in other news and big time wrestler news, speaking about Prime to make the big bucks, Andrew Baydala claims. Now, this I don't know about Andrew
Allegedly.
Baydala, okay? Do you guys remember the one time I like roasted him and then he's like, "Oh, this is awesome. I got PWT'd," and then he followed me and then I was just like, I can't remember. I like made fun of him saying he got PWT'd and then he unfollowed me. That was an awesome arc. That was a great fucking saga. But Baydala reports he's been dormant for a while, but he says there's a big offer on the table for The Rock to wrestle at WrestleMania 43 in Saudi Arabia, but there's hesitation about moving forward as he knows it would most likely be his final match. I wouldn't be shocked if the Saudis gave us Rock versus Roman. The problem is Rock would have to kind of bulk up again, and he's trying to get all these awards. So if he's playing like meth heads and shit like this in movies, that ain't going to happen. He's going to be way more focused on that. However, I'm here for fucking Roman versus Rock one last time, as long as Rock doesn't go over. I'm here for that one last time. Like, I'm not going to be mad if Rock shows up. Just they will know, WWE will know not to let him fuck up like the greater picture. It'll just be like he's there, him and Roman. Roman's part-time as well. You guys are in your own universe doing your thing, and then Rock's gone type shit. If I'm WWE, I have Gunther choke him out in fucking Riyadh at 43 in 2027 next year. At 43, Gunther's retiring The Rock and choking his ass out. That's what I'm doing. I'm just fucking pissing everybody off with Gunther. Right? We're turning him into the fucking Iron Sheik. So I just don't know if I trust this. And like, there's a big money offer. It's like, no shit. The Rock is always in the conversation when it comes to WWE, anything. And the Saudis, like, no shit. If anyone shows up as a performer there, they're getting a big ass paycheck. And if the Saudis want them, they're going to fucking get them. Okay. They got fucking Pete Davidson, whose dad died on 9/11 to perform in 9/11, was a firefighter, I believe, in 9/11, died, and they got him to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, for fuck's sakes. Okay? There ain't no fucking way they don't get The Rock if they don't want him. All right? So I think there was another update on that. Yeah, so here's what Bay Dalla posted. He says, before these rumors get wild again, The Rock is not wrestling at next year's Mania. The big offer under discussion is for Mania 43 in Saudi, and there appears to be hesitation about proceeding, given that The Rock knows it would most likely be his last match. So what are you fucking saying, buddy? Before the rumors get wild again, The Rock is not wrestling at this year's WrestleMania. The big offer is for next year's WrestleMania. Okay. All right. I don't know, man. Why are we even talking about that year's WrestleMania yet? Who gives a shit? Shut the fuck up. So speaking of deals and contracts that could be going on here, the coach, Jonathan Coachman, says, okay, I'm going to try this reporter thing. Now, the coach has just been riddled with misses in 2025. Okay, he fucked up a bunch of times, then tried to spin stories as that's what he meant. You fucked up. You fucked up. Few times, and so Coachman says Jericho will not be at Raw on Monday. He is scheduled to make his return at the Rumble with a whole new look and character. Here's the thing, man. The people will not want that. I'm telling you right now. If he doesn't come out where the timer comes out and then and I swear Jericho's leaking this out there himself because Jericho works the sheets. He's leaking this out there himself to throw people off the trail of what he's really going to do. An all-new character. Like what? The learning tree? There's no other character. He burned through them all in AEW. If it doesn't have a fucking timer and then somewhat of a countdown, and then it's like, gong, 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 break the wall down in some form. Maybe it doesn't even have to be break the walls down, but it should be a remix of break the walls down. Honest to God. I don't know if you Def Rebel it. I don't know if you... Is that the band for WWE? Def Rebel? Is that what they're called? Yeah. I don't know if you like Fozzy X Def Rebel team up remix of break the walls down, break down. Like you could probably remix that song and make it really fucking cool and more modern. But it has to be fucking boom. It's like if Edge came back and he was Judgment Day Edge when he came back at the Rumble. And it wasn't just not a chance to feel the lure and fucking boom, 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 fireworks. Like usually at the Rumble, you don't get fireworks, just music hits. You run down the tunnel. Edge hit his pose, right? Metal fucking devil horns in the air, fucking fireworks. Boom, 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 boom. It has to be fucking break the wall down, break down. Boom, 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 boom. The pose, not even the light up jacket. You could do it if you want, but just him with the pose. It's all dark, the fucking spotlight on him. He just milks it. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Crowd's going to go so crazy. He does the slow turn. They have to do that. Now, if they switch his character up progressively over, like, okay, that's fine. But the people don't want Jericho showing up and being like, A lot of people say, "Oh man, Judas at WrestleMania." No, Judas is played out, man. Judas is done. Judas is cooked. Okay, that one's cooked. Maybe, like, if he did, I wouldn't be offended by it, you know. But Judas is cooked, man. That's not the song to go with either. And Judas is a good song. Like, I enjoy it, but that's not the one. If I was them, and I've pitched this a million times, if I was Jericho, I'd team up with Fozzy and Def Rebel, because it's going to be a #1 hit, and just remix Break the Walls Down, and then Fozzy has a new #1 fucking most downloaded on iTunes and share Spotify or whatever. That's what it's going to be. Most streamed on fucking Spotify, you know? That's what it would be. And I would get Fozzy involved to get them another big hit, you know? It's just, yeah, there's a way to do this where the fans will be like, oh my fucking God, you know, and it has to be what your boy Phil Marks is saying, okay? It has to be with the fucking countdown, dude. It'll be the greatest thing,
God,
you know?
it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
And it's got to be the countdown. And then just fucking break the wall down.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand.
You guys know what I'm saying? It has to just fucking, they call a problem child. We spend our lives on trial. Come on now. I can't fucking wait, dude. That's gonna rule. So speaking of comebacks, man, we had Matt Cardona show up on fucking SmackDown. And he was like, hey, Fangu, I'm Sandra D. No, he showed up and he's just like, I'm here, but I'm Matt Cardona. And even the way Matt Cardona's second entrance, because he was just Zack Ryder when he showed up in the Last Time Is Now tournament. But Matt Cardona shows up on SmackDown again, and he's like, I'm back. And then Michael Cole's like, we just received word that Matt Cardona is here, and he is signed to SmackDown. Okay, and it started with like a woo, 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 and all that shit. And it was like always ready and all that. And then it switched to Matt Cardona, and he just has this shitty generic music. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to fucking hate on it so much, but it would be better if it was just his old theme, honestly. But he always said, I'm not coming back to WWE unless I'm Matt Cardona, which he already accomplished in NXT. But if you want to talk main roster, boom, all these sickos who tried to clown Cardona, and they were all like, oh, he said he'd only come back. Oh, what a joke. And then boom, he is back as just Matt Cardona. And they can sell Zack Ryder merch for the true broskies and hoskies, right? But he came back. He had a match against Kit Wilson. So he's like a mid-lower guy who even fucking knows. He beat him. Obviously, he could work his way up. I think Matt Cardona would be awesome for the U.S. title scene. I've been saying this. And it's not like he's going to get, you know, maybe he gets like a WWE title shot or something. But imagine Zack Ryder, Cody Rhodes, and Ricky Saints in a heel faction. In a 3-man heel faction. When Rhodes turns heel. You know what I mean? That could work, dude. Because Cardona could take L's and then they could use it to fucking... Not that he would just be a jobber, but it doesn't hurt him to take L's. And then they could help elevate Ricky Saints in that way. Or maybe they don't want Ricky Saints playing background to anyone. But I'm just saying there's people Rhodes could recruit here coming up for a heel faction. So keep an eye on that. But Cardona had a solid match. Kit Wilson fucking rules. I don't like that finisher Kit Wilson does. Cardona just kicked out of it. I don't like that. It's like a modified twist of fate falling DDT type move. It's so cool. And I like Kit Wilson's whole shtick, like, oh, the toxic masculinity and all this shit, and then he gets slapped around. I love that. Hopefully, when Elton Prince comes back, I don't know. I think Pretty Deadly didn't get to where they could have as a tag team, and as singles, they're just jobbers. Like, they're just what this match was, unfortunately. But Matt Cardona rules. It's awesome. He's fucking back. What does he add to the roster? Some fucking depth. They're clearly, because it's 3-hour SmackDowns, they're just juicing up SmackDown. And Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez were fucking coping about it already. Brian already fucking posting a cope video. Because he's crying about call-ups, and then they happen, and then he's like, no, I'm still right. Let me just fucking cry and cope and make shit up about NXT should just die and Javon should just stay, never bring up that he was in NXT again. It's like, what? What kind of point is that, stupid? But it's just because he had zero patience, because that's the problem with Dave and Bry and sickos in general. They have zero fucking patience. They're just uber fickle marks. But Matt Cardona said April 15, 2020, Zack Ryder was released from WWE. It had to happen. Being a WWE superstar was my lifelong dream. I had been signed for 14 years, on TV for 13. I traveled all over the world, had action figures, won championships, and experienced everything else that came with living the dream. He just talks about these past 5 years. And from the moment I got released, I knew I couldn't focus on proving people wrong. I wanted to prove myself and my fans right, and I believe I did that. I'm often asked for advice. My advice is don't quit. You might make it if you don't. And you see where people are landing. So like Cardona and Chelsea Green are married. So he lands on SmackDown. What else? Trick Williams lands on SmackDown because him and Lash Legend are together. Right. And we'll talk about the call-ups in a second, but Matt Cardona is like still busy doing side quests, and he's using his real name, Matt Cardona. So the night before his return on SmackDown, he showed up in JCW and won the fucking title.
The new regime wants chaos, and they've got it. Matt Cardona, JCW World Champion.
You guys know what I'm saying? And we watched on the last NWA show, he confronted Billy Corgan. He returned to NWA and he confronted Billy Corgan. So I think Matt Cardona is going to be one of these dudes where he's like mid-lower, but he can work in TNA. He can work in JCW. He's officially on the SmackDown roster, or maybe like he's going to have to drop this title and he's going to have to wrap up whatever he's doing with Billy Corgan in NWA. And also, Cardona's booked for a fucking match. Check this shit out, against Mike Santana, Sweet Louisiana, for the ACW heavyweight title. He's the current ACW heavyweight champ. So does he drop the title here? Or does he keep it? And the JCW thing was filmed in October. Okay, but it fucking aired now. Is that not true? Like, it just aired the other day, no? So is he going to be, did they film more than him winning the title, or was that the last shit they filmed? Have they filmed him losing it already? Are there spoilers out there? Lex, help me out here, buddy. What's going on?
I don't know.
Me neither. But all I'm saying is, like, dude, he's booked for this. He's the champ. Is he going to drop this belt? The fuck is going on with this guy? So it's awesome. This rules is what I'm saying. And maybe he's exclusive to the Fed now. I didn't know that. That would make sense if he drops this belt. But also, guys, like Ricky Saints showed up and attacked someone on what show was it? Was it Reality of Wrestling? He attacked the champ or whatever. And I get that they're WWE ID'd, but NWA was trying to. Billy Corgan was saying he wanted to be partnered in some capacity. I don't fucking know. It's crazy, man. The world of professional wrestling is going crazy right now. And I don't know if they want Cardona on that show. Yeah, he vacated the ACW title according to searches. So, fuck, man. So he had to vacate it? I don't know, dude. Either way, Cardona just making waves. He's all over the fucking place. But let's say he had to vacate titles to go back to WWE, because that's what I assumed would happen. I was like, well, he's vacating those shits. But yeah, it is what it is. It's weird that like Ricky Starks vacated that one indie belt and then they've sent him out to indies or like un-indie. Wild times we're living in with the Fed, though. I just really, you know what I want to see them do more than anything? Cross over with New Japan. That's all I want to see happen, is them cross over with fucking Nuge. Okay, so here's Cardona. Hits the broski boot. He was crushing it. Kit Wilson looking good in his gear. But we talked about some of the folks that have been called up and who have returned. So on SmackDown, dude, Randy Orton returned. And he said, listen, I'm coming after that title, that WWE title. Same with Sami Zayn. They set it up perfectly, too, why no one's going to help Rhodes when Drew's like talking all this shit, because they want that WWE title. Rhodes is going to snap and he's going to turn fucking heel. I'm telling you right now. But Orton came back. That fucking ruled. He hit 2 RKOs on The Miz. And again, Orton's trying to just stay as healthy as he can. I think at Mania, we get Orton versus Rhodes. Someone fucking DM me some wild matches that I was like, you're trolling me. You're 100% trolling me with some of the matchups that fucking they're like, this is what's being discussed for Mania. And I'm like, no, they're not. There's no fucking way. And then we had Jordan Grace was on SmackDown. Talking about she's going to sign there. And then she had a second moment. So she was like with Nick Aldis. And then she had a second moment with Jade Cargill where they kind of teased like these two might throw down. I could totally see Jordan Grace showing up or remaining on SmackDown. Although like Oba Femi, for instance, they've been airing vignettes for him, but he could appear on Raw. I think Femi could go to Raw, or no, is that the wrong show for him? I just don't know if SmackDown, they had all these guys Trick Williams is on SmackDown now officially as well. Jordan Grace could be on the Raw side. They have a lot of women. I think on the women's side on SmackDown, they could really use some people like Jordan Grace, some vets in there. You know what I mean? And Jordan, it's a good time to call her up. I love this. Fuck the draft and all this. It's just this end of the year. The new year starts, and NXT, there's a bunch of free agents or guys with one match left on their NXT shit, and they're allowed to go explore Raw and SmackDown themselves. That's how you fucking do it, man. And I won't lie, like the repetitive, like they just are backstage negotiating and then they go, I'd like to introduce you to the latest next possible signing, Trick Williams. Like every single wrestler's done that. And I agree that shit is getting repetitive. They need to come up with new ways. But I just think every year they should go, yeah, it's the NXT free agent period. And you know that our GMs will be busy negotiating while also trying to handle the chaos that is the backstage of WWE. You know, they could just explain it that way. I think that would be awesome. Jordan Grace, I think, is a solid fit for SmackDown. I'm seeing it already. Yeah, so we got Orton back. And then Trick Willie came out looking like $1 billion, dude. Came out looking like $1 million, okay? And he was out there with Sami Zayn. Now, I don't know if they booked this correctly, though. Honestly, like, Trick should have got the last word. And again, they're like, well, we don't want to punk out Sami, then have him lose to Trick, because he's going to fucking lose to Trick. But it's like, I don't know if Sami should have cooked him in the last words and then walked off with his music playing. Trick Williams comes out there looking like $1 million. I think could have milked his entrance a little bit more. And he came out with the fucking heels on. Dude, he was talking shit like an old school boxer. And I loved it, man. He's like, I'm what happens when Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, and Mike Tyson are all rolled into one. I'm 6'5", 250 pounds. He is, and a lot of people posted this. You saw a lot, and Swerve gave Trick props, but a lot of people went, yo, that's like the meme of the night after SmackDown was like, yo, this is what Swerve thinks he is. This is what Swerve was supposed to be or thought he could be or thinks he is. You saw a lot of posts like that, but like Trick is him. Trick is going to be such a big star if they keep presenting him this way, but he just needs to get that air of, there's just a little thing missing that like The Rock had, that Stone Cold had, that a lot of the greats have. He's got everything, the look, the presence. He can cut a promo. He can wrestle well. The lemon pepper steppas, sassy girl, the lemon pepper steppas. Oh God, that was so good, dude. The lemon pepper steppas, the crowd fucking pop. And he's not one of these guys where the crowd's like, who the fuck is he? Like Roxanne or Julia. Nah. He comes out and they're fucking whoop that Trick. Crowd's going nuts. Trick is my guy. There's just a little, and he's gonna catch it. He's gonna get it. He's gonna catch this. But there's just this little, and like no one has it anymore in pro wrestling. There's like few and far between, but there's an air of him, like there's the aura, but there's just a smidge missing of, what's the word? I'm just milking it so much because I can't even think of the word. Just a little bit of like, I don't give a fuck. Once that clicks, like the way The Rock would look around and the stage time is his time. Like, I get it. He was excited and he came barreling down to the ring, but it's like, Trick, man, this is your time. Just take it. Like every fucking step you take, you look like $1 million, right? Like this is your fucking moment. Just milk it, milk everything you're doing. Just slow it down by like a hair and just own that shit. That's you, dude. And he does have it. And he was just real excited. You could tell by his promo and everything. And that's awesome. Good for him. He fucking knocked it out of the park though. But I just think they ended it weird. It should have ended where Trick walks out, talks shit to Sammy. Sammy tries to rebut. Then he goes, shut the hell up or whatever, drops the mic, walks out. Like the part where he interrupts Sammy and he's like, I wasn't done talking. And then he finishes his little bit, and then he should have just dropped the mic, walked the fuck out of there with his whoop that Trick playing, and Sammy being like, what the fuck? Who's this guy? I think that should have been how it ended, but then they kind of let Sammy talk some shit, then walk out the ring, and then it's oh, and the crowd's just looking at this guy who looks like fucking he looks like a villain straight out of Luke Cage or something, dude. He fucking rules so hard, dude. Trick rules so fucking hard. And I can't wait to see what he does. And I love that he's like, and I want to be, Nick Aldis said, I need someone here who can go after the world championship. And it's like, yes, fuck yes. Not just another lower fucking guy, not just a guy who's going to, I know I'll fucking win. I'll answer the US Open challenge. Like he's saying straight up, I'm 6'5", 250, and I'm coming for that fucking WWE title. I love that, man. And it just also added to like everyone's gunning for Rhodes, his friends, his mentor, newcomers, like everyone's gunning for him. So I love it. And what an A+ debut for Trick. Just that one minor, that's on booking. That's on Triple H. Worst booker of the year. No, and then Matt Cardona showed up, and there's been teases of Obafemi. Like, we all know he's being called up. We don't know what show he's going to be on, but either way, The call-ups are doing their thing. And Jordan Grace really didn't get a big reaction. And I'm not trying to shit on her, but it was backstage shit, so you can't really gauge that because we know she got big reactions at the Rumble and stuff like that. But also her like delivery of the backstage stuff, she looked again like $1 million. I mean, these just look like WWE superstars through and through. And the sky's the limit for Jordan. I think she'll be a world champion in fucking no time. And I like that she's sort of like, hey, I'm eyeing up the world champions here as well. But just her delivery on the backstage shit, she wasn't saying nothing. It was very like reading the script. So that would be my criticism. I'm just trying to be fair and criticize everything a little bit and put shit over a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Also on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre revealed the stipulations for the 3 stages of Hell match. First match, straight wrestling match. Second match, Falls Count Anywhere. Third match, Steel Cage. And I love 3 stages of Hell. They also brought up Cena versus Ryback and how the ambulance match was a part of it. And then they had an ambulance match, Priest versus Black. The match was pretty good. It was decent. The ending got a little convoluted. Like they just drag a table out with all these random, clearly fake props on it. It just, I don't know. It was kind of, I thought when the doors were locked, we were going to see, because like Priest tried to open the doors at one point, then he opened the side door and then he fucking opened the back doors. Like they got unlocked and then he threw Black in there, and then he went to the side door, and I was like, oh, someone's going to be joining Vega and Black, and someone's going to, like, missed him or some shit. And then, nope, he just shuts the side door, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It was just the ending kind of lost me, but the match was, like, pretty solid throughout. Priest was talking about how he's been taking it easy, and then he comes back, and the last times we've seen him, he's just jumping off shit and flying off shit and everything. I love Priest when he does like the Batman mixed with Punish, like when he comes out with the bat wings and shit. I love that. I'm looking forward to this 3 stages of Hell. I think, unfortunately, I don't, with the way they're setting up SmackDown, like I don't think Drew's going to win the fucking title, but I want him to. But if he names the stip and everything, 3 stages, then loses still, I don't know, brah. I don't know if you can keep going with this story, but what did I tell you guys? Rhodes and Drew, again, feel no fucking miss. Rhodes and Drew going to be a long-ass program. Told you guys. I fucking told you guys it was going to be this, and a lot of different matches with different stipulations. I fucking told you guys this all a long time ago. Not trying to play spoiler, but if they have it their way, they're going to be feuding for a minute, and they are. So just know that Drew losing a bunch already, there's an end game to this, and there's a plan to this all. And I thought, now let me hit a little X-Files. I thought, because they held off on announcing that Drew McIntyre was going to be in Highlander, right? And that was right after WrestlePalooza, right? Henry Cavill hurts himself. Production gets delayed until 26 this year. I don't know when it's picking up, but I think early 26. I thought they were going to put the belt on Drew and then he was going to do this big-ass Hollywood movie and blah, blah, blah. Because, again, Hollywood will book around these guys. You best believe they will book around the Cody Rhodes and the Roman Reigns and the Drew McIntyres, okay? So it's different. Hollywood's approach is different now than it used to be. And I thought they were going to put it on Drew then, and then he was going to do this big-ass movie. But maybe the delay made the title switch delay. That could be a possibility. And he could get it now. I just don't think I think he's going to win it. I don't think you can do, and Rhodes can win it back. Who knows even? WrestleMania might be Drew versus Rhodes. To end this, like, year-long fucking feud between the two guys. Who knows? But you got to think he's got to win one of these. And if that movie, it's 26, they're starting production up again for it. I don't know when. It could be middle of the year, end of the year, early in the year. But if they slap the title on him and then he goes and films this big blockbuster movie, dude, that could be really fucking good for Drew. And he's just a top heel. Like, people are invested in him, and and I said this a long time ago. It's unfortunate for Drew in a way if he wants to be world champ and shit, or is he a mark and does he see the bigger picture? Like, I've been world champ before, so that is on my resume, and I'm Roddy fucking Piper, bud. Like, I don't need to win it now. He did win the WWE title and the world title. It's not like he didn't win the titles, but is he going to have this long fucking run with the one that everyone thinks he deserves? I don't know. He might not be that big of a mark for himself. He might just be like, well, I did that already, and I'm super fucking over. Like, unfortunately for Drew, he draws money without needing a world title, and that's not unfortunate for him, but I'm just talking as far as, like, if he's a mark and wants to be a champ, or if you're a fan who wants to see him be champ, well, Drew, he doesn't need to be champ. You know what I'm saying? He's so fucking over as a villain. So, yeah, he might not ever beat Rhodes. But if he did win this, there's lots of ways to get out of it. Like, well, Drew beat him false count anywhere, and then his feet touched the floor first. So did he really pin the champ type thing? They could totally book it that way as well. So it is what it is. I like the 3 stages of hell stipulation. Drew lighting the picture of Dusty on fire with Rhodes and the shit they're saying about Dusty and stuff. It's kind of like, I don't fucking know. I'm just like, you're going too rank on old Dusty, but that's the point. And the whole thing is, like, Drew just violates people, right? On social media, IRL. He was peeing on the tour bus. Like, his whole thing is he just straight violates motherfuckers. And he's good at it, man. So I'm into it. I know some people are probably, like, scoffing at this, but I think Drew's stock has only risen. And I think he's in a position where he doesn't even need a world title. And that's when you're, like, bigger than the title, I think that's awesome in a way. But again, if he loses this match, I'm going to be like, fuck, I really want to see a Drew heel title run. I'm ready for a heel WWE title run. You guys know what I'm saying? We got Triple H, CM Punk on the other side being a baby face. Like, I'm ready for a fucking heel champion run again, personally. So hopefully Drew's that guy. And here we have I didn't see this. I'm so sorry. Ultimo Hero became a new member. Thank you so goddamn much for your membership, even though it was a long ass time ago, and I just
acknowledge me.
Thank you so much. Ultimo Hero, cousin of Ultimo.
Sometimes
Monet,
in life, you got to be a hoe.
and twins with Ultimo Guerrero. And thank you guys so much. We have more WWE news here. Let me just hydrate a bit. Everyone hydrate. Drink something. Especially Takeshita. He got that ass worn out, boy. Okay. Phil's been ignoring chat. No, I'm not ignoring. I keep checking in with you guys here and there, but he's pushing the likes, so and there's so many of you guys. Chat moves fucking quick here, man. What are you guys saying? I don't want Breaker to win until WrestleMania. I want it to be a queen win in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania. You wanted to be a queen. Ayo, Boo, Phil Boo, welcome to the best show. Thank you, dude. Phil's been, oh yeah, let me see. We need more Jericho, Phil. I don't know. Jericho again. You guys are begging for it. Now get the likes to 100. Orton gets it from Drew. You never go full Ventura. Well, there's a new investigation going on. I was in the Baja. I rode a boat from Venezuela to fucking the Baja and took a bus to Minnesota. To investigate Maduro and Somalian daycares. Oh man, America's going fucking full Team America World Police lately, huh? Okay, so we got more here, guys. See, I'm paying attention to chat. What do we He's just guessing what we said. Yeah. Ricky Saints, Balor, Cardona join Homelander, Cody. Yeah, that's the thing. Balor and Rhodes with like JD. I don't know if JD, him and Balor need to stick together, I feel like. But again, like an homage to Bullet Club in a way, maybe that could work. But maybe that's too passe. America, fuck yeah. Coming again to save the motherfucking day, y'all. So we have some other news here that has to do with contracts and injuries and whatnot. So Mitchin has suffered a shoulder injury during the ongoing holiday tour. A bunch of shoulder injuries in wrestling here. Everything we know about the WWE, actually, we'll hear. Speaking of the house shows, this was a spot that Ref Daphne did. Do you guys think this is cringe or not? I say house shows is where you do this shit. For WWE wrestlers, this is where you do this shit. You don't do it like on Dynamite, like Aubrey Edwards would or whatever. But watch Ref Daphne. She's fucking, that's her name, right? She's ejecting Selena Vega. Yeah, so she sent her packing, dude. Also on SmackDown, Julia won the US title again. Why? Not to be a hater, but like, who gives a shit, you know? And I love Julia, but like, fuck, man. They just jumbled it around. I don't know if Green helped get Julia more over in any way by jumbling this belt around. I want to see Julia just Arrivederci. I think that's how you say it. I want to see her Kinshasa fucking Kiana James the fuck out of here. And I'm not like, okay, it's good she's champ again, but then why'd you end her first reign? So that Chelsea Green could do the I'm the greatest North American thing. Even though Ethan Page is already kind of doing that, like it already would have worked. I think the US title helped elevate Chelsea a little more with that shtick she was doing. I don't know if this helped Julia anymore. But I'm not trying to boo-boo on it. The match was whatever. But SmackDown, again, it's sort of just become kind of repetitive. NXT, the ratings were 602 on December 23rd. We still don't have... Pardon me. We still... I swallowed a bug or something. I have no idea. We still don't have the ratings for Dynamite and shit. But we, have the 602 and a 0.08 in the key demo. In other news here, there's the Stranger Things crossover that is going down. Actually, first on SmackDown, Nakamura and Tama Tonga spoke in Japanese. I was wondering what they had to say. So let's just take a listen back and forth here.
タマ、チャンピオン目指してんだったら、また俺とどっかで交わるな。
黙れ、この野郎。
言ってくれんじゃねえの。
And then, like, Tama Tonga looked back at Shinsuke after Solo dipped out of the frame after they have their little conversation. And I wonder if this is what this is going to lead to exactly. I want to make the United States title great again in WWE. Not that it isn't great, but like, okay, Gargano and Ciampa and shit are fighting for it right now and stuff. I don't know, man. Carmelo Hayes is awesome. But yeah, I think the US title, the big boys could start playing with it. Pause a little bit more. And I want to see a fucking light heavyweight title get brought back to WWE. I just think all these guys with the open challenges and the fucking crazy ass Dragunov versus fucking Hayes and everything, just bring back the light heavyweight title. Call it light heavyweight. Don't even call it the cruiserweight. Or is that could be too many belts as well. That's the fucking problem. But I don't know, man. It's just, I think like Tama Tonga, Shinsuke, like those guys, like you got Matt Cardona back. Like there's a division there for the US title. Even a guy like Tala Tonga could win that shit. You guys remember when Big Show had the US title for a bit there? That was okay. So I'm not one for introducing like a bunch more titles, but I just think the junior heavyweight division works. It's worked. You know, and the cruiserweight guys don't got to go out there and wrestle like fucking, you know, Dean Malenko for the light heavyweight title. It worked, man. Taka Michinoku. You don't have to go and do the craziest shit. Tajiri. Tajiri didn't do that great. He did crazy shit, but it was like, oh, he kicks you or he hits you with the tarantula or he fucking missed you out of nowhere. His moves weren't like that. Well, he went fucking hard in ECW and shit for sure. But, you know, those matches, you remember them as being super fucking crazy because of super fucking crazy. You know, he's wrestling super crazy and guys like that. And Tajiri would hit some fucking crazy moves and stuff like earlier. But once he went pleather pants and went to the Fed for sure, he was just more like, he was very technical in his strikes and his fucking grappling and stuff like that, you know? And he had like the handspring elbow and shit, but he was very much like a technical guy. You had guys like Dean Malenko and Taka Michinoku again. You know, Funaki didn't do anything too crazy. He was fucking cool. Even Chavo Guerrero, you know, it was like Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio and Paul London. Like they do the fucking crazy shit. Some of these other guys stayed pretty grounded and, you know, highlighted their opponents for that. So I think you could, don't present the cruiserweights like, oh, it's the AEW hour. But like, if Nathan Frazier's going to go out there and fucking do a million flips, let him. And if who's a junior heavyweight, who's more mat-based, like a mat-based wrestler, if they're going to go out there and do that, let them do that. I think it would work. But yeah, maybe that's too many belts. Either way, I'm spending too much time on that. But this is what this translated to. Shinsuke said, Tama, if you are aiming for the championship, we will cross paths again somewhere. Tama Tonga said, shut up, you bastard. And Nakamura says, you have quite a mouth on you, don't you? So also Nakamura could align with the Wyatt Six in a way, because aren't they down a guy? Because they said next week it's 4-on-4 MFTs versus Wyatt Six, but aren't there 5 dudes in the MFTs total? So they have to pick 4, and then there's, yeah, so who knows? Wyatt Six could use an extra guy. I say bring Braun Strowman back. No. Well, maybe. They're just an attraction. Like, it's not like Wyatt Six is there every single week, so just fucking bring Braun Strowman back, and you guys are making money. You're making all this goddamn Saudi money. But here's everything we know about the Stranger Things crossover. Raw will enter the Upside Down. So it's like, okay, you're listening to PWT. That's obvious, right?
Sure thing, bro. Sure thing.
And then it's like, Are any of the actors going to be there? Is Millie Bobby Brown going to be there? Is WWE is encouraging fans to wear Stranger Things inspired outfits to Raw. And it's like, okay, do they have a fucking Demogorgon street fight? You know? A little Hawkins Donnybrook or what? But they've been listening to PWT. They've been listening to Phil Marks. That's why we'll see them in the Upside Down piece. And I'm all for the cross, whatever, but it'll just be the LED boards have like the upside down aesthetic, right? And the shit like floating in the air or whatever. That's all it's going to be. But yeah, here's Punk with Millie Bobby Brown. And so moving along here, Miro has announced that he is opening a wrestling school in Nashville, Tennessee called Keck Pro Wrestling, not Cuck Pro Wrestling, but Keck
What's
Pro
up?
Wrestling.
I'm Miro with Catch Pro Wrestling Academy
Catch.
here in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're opening a new pro wrestling
I wonder if Dave Meltzer, Sicko Vecna shows up.
school for adults and kids. Real pro wrestling training from
The
fundamental
main event will be 6 minutes and 13 seconds of them killing Gunther with fire bombs.
to character work. Also, we'll have advanced training sessions for experienced wrestlers only. The ring is on the way. The building is locked in. If you ever wanted to train like a pro, now is your chance. DM us, train for more info.
And so moving along here, they re-released the String 'em Up shirt on WWE Shop. It was previously not listed on the shop after it sold out, but it's up again. The Killer Cross shirts, but they're on at like a discount. They're just trying to get rid of them. And then they also changed Scarlett's name on the website from Scarlett to Scarlett Bordeaux. And Killer Cross responds and says, "What's the greatest trick the devil played on the world?" And the answer is making you think he doesn't exist. But Killer Cross is leaning into it. I just think he's doing that for social media. But they did change it to Scarlet Bordeaux, which is weird. I'm curious if maybe they could come back, because it's not like they didn't want to come back, and it's not like Cross doesn't want to be in WWE. But he kind of fumbled his shit. He kind of worked himself into a shoot, so maybe he comes back. Maybe they're calling it Scarlet Bordeaux. How? Maybe they're coming back and she's like, but I have to have my last name? Or is it they're just on clearance and whoever works there just added her last name for search purposes? I don't know. But we'll see. Could be a teaser for something. So per Body Slam Plus. So it's like some Body Slam Patreon that fucking gets news wrong all the time. But they say that Tommaso Ciampa's contract is nearing its end. And also, he wasn't on SmackDown anywhere to be seen with DIY. So that is curious. And he plans to finish his time with the company without renewing it. Right? And then, according to bodyslam.net, Tommaso Ciampa reportedly plans on leaving WWE once his contract is up soon. So first they said he's not going to renew his deal, and now he's planning on not renewing
Stupid
it.
idiot.
No, I'm joking. Listen, he's done all there is to do. The WWE fans don't really fuck with DIY. I'm not really a big fan. I got to be honest. Their time in NXT Black and Gold, like they did some amazing shit when Ciampa turned on Gargano and then he went on that heel run. Like that was all awesome. But and like Ciampa's a good wrestler and whatnot, but he's hit the ceiling, dude. I don't know what else he can do. He's never going to be world champ. And so he could go to AEW. Let's think about that. I just don't. What are they going to do with him? The fuck are they going to do with him? Stick him with the Bumbaclot Club because he wrestles good and he's bald? Like, what is Tone McCon
The
going
best guy is Tony Khan.
So does he go to TNA or does he just appear everywhere? He just shows up all over the place. That's what I would do. Maybe he could be a guy who puts NWA on his back. I think that would be cooler for Ciampa to do something like that instead of just go to AEW and part-time it and make all that money. I mean, he should do that actually. Yeah. Part-time it, mark the money mark in. You know, Tommaso Ciampa, come on down. Yeah, let him go mark Tone in and just retire while not having to wrestle a lot. And then whenever they need you, you just put on a great match. Like you did on SmackDown against Hayes there. Hayes and Dragunov, I want to say. Did he wrestle both? I don't know. I just say, yeah, mark him in. Might as well. But does AEW even want him? That's the question. And what does he want? Does he just want to chill at home, or is he leaving because he wants to be utilized better? Now, Tommaso Ciampa could go to AEW and like win a trios title or a tag title or a fucking the national title or whatever. He totally could. So maybe that's the move for him. But Tone will just stick him with the Death Riders, dude, because he's bald. He doesn't know what the fuck to do with guys. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was WWF News. Okay, what's chat saying? Almost 300 watching. Get those likes up to 100. YouTube.com/@ProWrestleClips. Ladies and gentlemen, NordVPN.com/ProWrestleTimes and Patreon.com/ProWrestleTimes if you want to support your boy Philly Phil. And we have another segment before we wrap things up here tonight. We've done over 3 hours. Amazing. We do have another segment. And there's a video that I want to run in on you guys and do this week at some point, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But there will be a run-in, I think, happening. I don't know. Soon. So ladies and germs, like or get banned from PWT forever. No, not actually. I look and see. I remember going to the Raw show in Montreal in 24. The crowd did not react to DIY. Tony salivating for Ciampa. He could go to TNA and be TNA world champ. Yeah, I could see him going there. He should go. Just mark Tone in, retire, just chilling. Why not? I just think the guy's winding it down. I think he's probably going to work for WWE, possibly as a coach, trainer. He's done everything, and winning the tag belts with his buddy was his favorite. Yeah, I don't know. I could totally see him going to AEW and just, why not, you know? Why the fuck not? Tone's handing out the money, dude. You might as well take it. And he can just show up, put on a banger, a 5-star classic. Like Dave gives him 4 stars and 5 stars or 4.5 stars or whatever the fuck. He can just go, have banger matches when they need him, stay at home with his family and fucking do that. Guys, it is time. Here, I need to chug down more water. Goddamn. It is time for everybody's least favorite segment, nobody's favorite segment. It is time for nobody's favorite segment, and it is called the Sicko Segment. So here is a poster that somebody brought to an AEW show that says TKO fears Tony Khan, which is cute, I guess. Just like a 2-second fucking long chant. He tries to act all humbled by it and shit. Then he makes them chant pay-per-view. Ugh. And then people say that Triple H is self-indulgent. Can you believe that he's out there producing the show that he's the fucking head of? And he fucking is out there, had one of the coolest entrances in wrestling? One of the coolest fucking entrances in wrestling. And so we're going to fucking get mad at him that he helps wrestlers with their entrances and shit. Clown shit. So yeah, they're holding up signs. Triple H has no fresh ideas. I mean, literally in AEW right now, Mox is a babyface champ. Swerve and Hangman are in each other's orbit. MJF's the Burberry fucking champ. No one's progressed. No stars have been made. You know, Kyle Fletcher didn't even win the C2. It's like last year when everyone's like, oh, it's his time to shine. And then he just fucking had the TNT belt for a while. I don't know, man. I just think it's cope. Imagine like going to the show and then talking about and then coping like that. So Lexus King and AJ Styles had to own some fucking sickos here themselves. So Lexus King posted this and he goes, and he says, this is ridiculous. Who uses their finishing move in the first 10 seconds? So yeah, he got squashed by Tavion Heights. And he just lost the speed title in like 10 seconds. And then this dude's like, that's a rookie move. This is Lexus King. This is a sport of kings, of gentlemen. Everyone knows you're supposed to lock up and wrestle, etc. This guy says, you've been in developmental for 4 years. Sad. And then Lexus King says, technically, we are all in developmental until we make it into the Hall of Fame. And that's the truth, man. You never stop learning. And this is why, and especially in things like pro wrestling, there's tricks that you learn along the way. If CM Punk could take his mind now and put it in his body when he was 21, he'd be unstoppable. And everybody knows this. It's the same with martial arts. Pro wrestling's about repetition and rounds you put in. Okay. It's like a practice. That's why you're practicing medicine, right? You're a doctor, you practice medicine because it's ever evolving, it's ever changing, and you're always learning. You're always learning. You're always, learning new things, having new breakthroughs. It's a study. Pro wrestling is like, it's a study, dude. And King with a great point. Like, you're always developing until you fucking the day you retire. And AJ says, facts, we never stop learning. And that's the right mindset to have. It isn't fucking just throw it all at the wall like a goddamn sicko. Right? And then AJ Styles had this go down where this guy goes, should have finished with the AEW run. He chose the WWE money. Which is crazy because Tony Khan would have likely given him more per year and shit. And AJ's already made the legacy money of being in WWE. You make more money with WWE in the long run. Up front, you make more money with Tony Khan. But of course, sickos are going to just be like, he took the WWE money, which, yeah, he did. But also, like, why would he want to finish his career anywhere than the cream of the crop? And AJ Styles responds and goes, I'll take dumbest things to ever have been said for 100, Alex. Just owning sickos. And speaking of sicko signs, the neck wrestling neckbeard post, what's wrong with modern real pro wrestling fans? And then, yeah, they have a sign. We came here just to see Aubrey Edwards. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I don't mean to roast people for their preferences, but the fucking ref. The ref? It's just cringe. And if you've been to these shows, you know that they try to get like Aubrey Edwards chants going, not the fans, the fucking Justin Roberts will be like, oh, and who knows Aubrey Edwards? And they'll try and get like Aubrey chants going and shit. And she's such a mark for herself. And I mean, that's cool though. You're a fan of a ref, I guess. It's just an odd thing. Speaking of odd things and owning sickos, Deonna Purrazzo showed this. This is you, embarrassing. And so here's some sicko responding to Deonna Purrazzo and Madison Rae a million times and being like, you're as fat, Miss Piggy, this you, fat pig, fat cow, this is you, Miss Piggy, piggy. So just all day like a psychotic fucking creep, man. Just going. And she has more screen grabs. Like, was that both of them? She has like 4 fucking screen grabs of this guy, just a lunatic. And then this guy deletes this one post that she responds to. And she goes, this is you, embarrassing. Like, just a fucking crazy sicko, man. And speaking of which, so Sean Ross Sapp reports this. It's rampant on Facebook. At least 3 women in WWE told me they reached out to see what they could do about it legally. And he's referring to, like, these women wrestlers and celebrities and fucking children and fucking everything. It's fucked up, man, what people are getting Grok to do. It's actually cooked. And there will be maybe not legal ramifications on the people doing this shit, but for surely, man, like, how are people not? Everyone's like, oh, the government's watching us and all this shit. Arrest those people. What are we? Fucking arrest them, you know? But for sure, these AI companies are going to have to fucking, because this stuff like doesn't go away now. Like, this is just out there. So unless there's a way that these AI companies can like DMCA strike or whatever the fuck, how does this, I don't know how we get this resolve here, but Niccolo Piccolo defending his clients here, or maybe not his client, I don't fucking know actually, but he says, fuck yeah, Sean Ross Sapp W. Also, what a ya day, Joe, you're next. Only murders on the timeline, season 2 loading like a true crime pod. And so this guy ringside with what a day. Liv Morgan Tuesday vibes. And so this fucking loser here, dude, is making AI videos of like WWE superstars. And then this guy, and then Nick got a DM saying, still somehow has a platform. Thank you. I've been dealing with family and holidays, but I'm about to get into this. Do I play this? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's cringe to even play this because it's an AI Liv and it's not like she's doing something funny. You know? It's just like, am I going to show her AI booty cheeks? Or whatever the fuck? It's just cringe. It is really cringe. And I feel bad for the ladies. Even if they put it out there themselves, I feel bad. It's like when people AI fake Sapp or Meltzer quotes. It's like, don't do that. Just let them do their thing. You know, let them be right or let them be wrong. And I'm not saying like a kayfabe news where they do like The Onion, where it's like a fake headline, but it's kayfabe news. I fucking love that. Right? They do like the Babylon Bee type humor shit. I like that. But like AIing these motherfuckers is like, don't do that, you know? And then especially like women wrestlers, that's gotta be illegal. It's so goddamn creepy. And it's so fucking down bad. No, I'm not gonna play it, chat. I wasn't even thinking. I was gonna play like whatever. Nicolo Piccolo took a video clip. I don't know if there's more chat down here that I should be looking at, but whatever. Or did he take this video clip? I don't fucking know. But he posted this, and yeah, we don't need to watch. It's just cringe, and like making girl wrestlers fucking kiss you and stuff like this. It's just like that's gotta be illegal. If not, then starting now. The whole world's gonna change. Undo the we need to add some amendments to the fucking speaking of super fucking cringe. Brock Lesnar guy, this fucking fan. Okay. And like shout him out, but what the fuck? The end. For over 25 years, I've experienced some amazing moments attending wrestling shows. But now it's time to move on. I knew I was running out of time with this, which is why I hit it hard this year. What an incredible year it was, especially with John Cena's retirement tour. I need to focus on other things now, which I will be sharing with you guys very soon. But as far as attending wrestling shows, it's time for me to move on. I will still be posting content. Stay tuned. The end or to be continued. Don't you? This guy's retiring from attending wrestling shows. I mean,
You fucking mark!
fucking crazy. And it's just kind of cringe. He's like hanging his jersey up. Oh man, I've been to so many of these. I'm the Brock Lesnar fan guy. Hanging it up. It's just like, bro, that is muy cringe, but whatever. He's just doing it for the socials, I guess. And that, ladies and germs, was Phil Marks Presents the Sicko segment. Oh. Okay, so ladies and germs, what an amazing show. We've gone 3.5+ hours tonight. Round of applause for the PWT universe. I appreciate and love you all, guys. Become a member. Member Monday. We will be watching Upside Down, Stranger Things Raw. Don't forget that, poor people don't like AEW.
You know, poor people don't like AEW.
And with that, folks, this is the end of PWT. I've been Phil Marks. Check out Dave Meltzer, Dumb Moment of the Week. Follow me everywhere. Support me on Patreon. Love you guys.
Let me out my misery!
And I'll see you guys literally in the Upside Down next time with Monday Night Raw. And I appreciate you all. See you in the Upside Down. Peace.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
stay on their effing notes.
You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me out of my misery!
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You gotta run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But like, you gotta promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be like my favorite movie. Time. So great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guy is Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.